For this morning events, we will deep dive on the topics conversion of internal combustion engine vehicles to electric vehicles, focusing on motorcycles. Before we begin, I would like to inform you that for our esteemed guests here, you will find a barcode on your table that you can scan. And if you scan it, it will lead you to all presentation materials for today's event. So please feel free to scan it to gather information materials from today's event. Today will be such a productive day, and without further delays, please allow me to introduce the Chief Operating Officer of ERIA, Mr. Koji Hachiyama.
Thank you very much for introduction. Honorable Dr. Nuki, Executive Director of ASEAN Center for Energy, ACE. Honorable Engineer Senda Harumura-san, Kanam. The head of electric testing, the survey main center of the Directorate General of New Renewable Energy and Conservation of MEMR. All distinguished speakers, moderators, panelists, and participants, good morning. I'm Koji Hachiyama, the Chief Operating Officer of ERIA. It's a great honor for me to deliver the opening remarks on this MEMR, ERIA, and ACE joint workshop organized in the framework of side events of Indonesia's 2023 ASEAN Chairmanship in energy sectors. Since the COP26 in Glasgow in 2021, the world has been moving toward attaining a carbon-neutral society. The last year G20 Indonesia Presidency Energy Transition Pillar of Global Cleaner Energy Systems and Just Transition aimed at achieving a global deal to accelerate the energy transition. The G20 Indonesia presidency has chosen, therefore, to achieve carbon neutrality targets by accelerating the process of reducing energy-related greenhouse gas emissions through various forms of decarbonization. In the meantime, ASEAN is also one of the most dynamic and fostering growing economic regions in the world. Thus, the energy demand will increase beyond the post-pandemic economy recovery. To meet the growing electricity power demand while pursuing the reduction of greenhouse gas emissions in ASEAN, diversification of energy resources in power generation as well as the end-use sector are required. Several ASEAN countries have set their strategies for low-emission mobility, such as through the electrification of mobilities. This measure should decrease their oil import dependency by shifting from the use of conventional fuels to electricity. To accelerate the penetration of electric vehicles, the adopted strategies include, among others, the promotion of market development of plug-in electric vehicles, especially cars, motorcycles, and light-duty vehicles or vans. However, without subsidy and other measures to reduce the cost of purchasing and operating electric vehicles, we can see that it is difficult to reach an important share of electric vehicle sales. One of the ideas to accelerate the ownership of electric vehicles is by converting internal combustion engine or conventional vehicles into electric vehicles. In the case of Indonesia, Vietnam, Thailand, and some other ASEAN countries, this conventional combustion might find focus on motorcycles. The first part of our today program, which is my morning workshop, shall focus on supporting the conversion of conventional motorcycles to electric motorcycles. In the morning workshop, we shall analyze the feasibility of converting conventional motorcycles to electric motorcycles as an option to accelerate mobility electrification in ASEAN member states. We shall compare the total cost of ownership of converting and operating electric motorcycles to purchasing and operating new electric motorcycles. Secondly, we would like to analyze the possible impact of this conversion strategy to fuel power system and emission, especially in ASEAN's urban area. Finally, we would like to discuss the most suitable business model that shall facilitate electric motorcycles in general in ASEAN and in particular the converted ones. While we are witnessing the current move of mobility electrification, we also need to deal with the remaining vehicle fleet that still use conventional fuels.
Recording in progress.
In ASEAN countries, bioenergy in the different type of the biofuels are alternative source of energy to reduce transport users' dependencies on the conventional transport fuels. Not only in the end-use sectors such as transport, the use of bioenergy, especially through the different types of the biomass, starts to contribute to decrease ASEAN countries' dependency on coals for generating electricity, while at the same time to mitigate greenhouse gases emissions. Indonesia is among the first countries to combine coal and biomass in the power generation. Through having abundant feedstocks, ASEAN must build dependency on bioenergy in a sustainable way. Sustainable bioenergy policies should consider effects on food supply chains, any negative impact on prices, distribution, and food ability should be viewed as a priorities. Bioenergy technologies deployment should focus on human priorities, bringing alternatives such as bioenergy production, produced from waste of human residuals, and reduce dependency of any vital food supplement. In the second part of today's program, in the afternoon workshop, we shall discuss ASEAN's bioenergy development status, including the future bioenergy regional shortage, demand, and supply possibility in ASEAN countries. We will analyze at the supply and demand side to include the constraint of food and agriculture in ASEAN, in addition to the potential of bioenergy trade in the region. ASEAN needs to cooperate to ensure the bioenergy development in the region will not risk future regional food supply. Finally, we must make progress on elaborating policy measures at ASEAN level in the development of sustainable bioenergy and its ASEAN-level bioenergy markets, especially on second-generation biotechnological bioethanol and green biofuels, advanced biofuels, and biomass co-fueling. Therefore, ERIA would like to invite all of you key stakeholders to join forces, share good practice, experience, analysis, and commitments to cope with the current world gas crisis and challenges, and elaborate the transitioning pathway into carbon neutrality while marketing smart and sustainable use of natural gas resources. Ladies and gentlemen, please allow me to humbly reiterate ERIA's commitment to support Indonesia's 2023 ASEAN Chairmanship in organizing all its activities, in formulating concepts, statements, communique, action plans, and roadmaps, and in ensuring the full implementation of its decisions. I wish you all a fruitful and enlightening discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hachiyama-san, for your opening remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, I would also want to inform you that this room is equipped with Wi-Fi connection. The password and ID are available on your table. There's a card in your table, so you can feel free to be connected to the Wi-Fi connections of this room. Okay, for the next agenda, please direct your attention to the screen as we hear from His Excellency Minister Arifin Tasrif, the Minister of Energy and Mineral Resources of Republic of Indonesia.
Mr. Konji Hachiyama, Chief Operating Officer of ERIA, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. First of all, I would like to convey my appreciation to ERIA for conducting this ASEAN Chairmanship workshop. It is an honor for me to warmly welcome all ASEAN member states and participants of these workshops, which will discuss on electric vehicle conversion and development of bioenergy market potential in ASEAN. The 2023 ASEAN Summit has agreed on electric vehicle utilization to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and decarbonize the land transportation sector in the region in order to achieve net zero emission target. Several ASEAN countries are homes of critical mineral to support electrification in transportation. Taking the advantage of such potential, ASEAN member states are committed to develop a regional electric vehicle ecosystem. We have to work together to boost the electric vehicle industry and develop ASEAN as a global production hub. Massive EV utilization is becoming the backbone of energy transition in demand side. Higher EV penetration is encouraged through the acceleration of electric motorcycle sales, either through direct sales or conversion from ICE motorcycles. In the case of Indonesia, we continue to establish a better ecosystem of electric vehicles through several programs, namely Motorcycle Conversion Program, rapid development of charging and swap stations, and improving the battery industry. The government also endorses the utilization of EV by providing incentives for public should they want to purchase EV or convert their motorcycle to electric ones. This year, 50,000 motorcycles are expected to be converted in Indonesia, and we keep advancing this program by creating online platform and preparing workshops, as well as required human capital across the country. In addition to vehicle electrification, bioenergy as a reliable alternative to fossil fuels should also be optimized. Based on BP's statistical review of world energy in 2022, ASEAN significantly contributed to global biofuel supply, with Indonesia producing 174,000 BOEPD as the third largest biofuel production countries after USA and Brazil, while Thailand produced 52,000 BOEPD. ASEAN member states have recognized bioenergy potential to decarbonize energy systems. 5 countries have enacted blending mandates around biodiesel B5, B35, as well as ethanol E10 to E20. Last year, Indonesia's biodiesel realization was 10.5 million kiloliters, which contributed to save foreign exchange by more than $8 billion. Since February this year, B35 mandatory has been implemented nationwide. It is essential to consider the sustainability criteria of bioenergy, including biofuel and biomass for ASEAN and East ASEAN member countries. The criteria include environmental aspects such as the number of GHG emission reduction and not using land for agricultural purposes, especially for food crops. While for social criteria, it needs local community involvement. Research and development is also important to provide innovative ways which aim to increase the efficiency of production process, to produce good quality fuels at affordable prices, to improve environmental carrying capacity, and to bring greater prosperity for farmers. Next, we also would like to expand the implementation of biofuel with other alternative fuels. Among others are hydrogen. In the energy transition roadmap towards net zero emission by 2060, hydrogen is projected to have 5 to 10% share in the transportation sector. Currently, national hydrogen strategy is being drafted to boost hydrogen implementation in Indonesia. Bioaftur, the first test flight, was conducted last year and showed that there was no difference in performance after blending the fuel G2.4. Compressed biomethane gas. This form of bioenergy has characteristics similar to CNG, so that it can be used as an alternative fuel for power plants as well as for industrial and commercial purposes. A joint effort needs to be made to increase and expand the use of electric vehicles and bioenergy among ASEAN member states. Through mutual support, we can learn from each other's successes and failures, exchange experiences, strategy, policy, knowledge, expertise, and technology. I sincerely hope that through this workshop, we can have a fruitful exchange of ideas, information, and sharing experiences which are expected to answer the challenge in EV and biofuel implementation and to develop a constructive collaboration across ASEAN member states.
Thank you, Minister. We thank Minister for taking time to send us a video message. Okay, we will hear one more keynote speech for today. And after that, for the whole agenda, we will have 3 scene-setting presentation, followed by an expo, an exhibition over there, and also we will have a very interesting 2 panel discussions. Okay, so let's continue for the next agenda. Please allow me to invite the Executive Director of ASEAN Energy Center for Energy. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Nuki Agia Utama.
Thank you, Italy. Good morning, colleagues, ladies and gentlemen, Honorable Mr. Senda, a colleague of mine, and also Honorable CEO of ERIA, Mr. Koji Hachiyama. Good morning. Ohayo gozaimasu. Colleagues from ERIA, Pak Joko, good morning. Dr. Pong, good morning. And also colleague from MEMR and ACE and also UNDP I saw over here. Good morning and welcome to this very important electric vehicle conversion development of bioenergy market potential in Southeast Asia. I don't want to really take your time for this important event. Just want to tell you a bit stories on what happened in Southeast Asia regarding with the development of electricity vehicles and also bioenergy technology. We all know that Southeast Asia is rich with the bioresources. We also know that the Southeast Asia possess approximately 30% of tin, 30% of nickels, 20% of 36% to be exact, bauxite, and rare earth approximately also 36%. So those are important minerals which is required by the upcoming new technology that we want to discuss today, which is electric vehicles. Apart from that, Southeast Asia just launched the first green transport rally. This green transport rally, as perhaps you can see over there in the booth, is providing 8 possible or 8 alternative cars driving from Jakarta to Bali Nusa Dua 1,250 kilometers distance, comprising of full electricity vehicles, hybrid electricity vehicles, and also B40 ICE. So for there, we try to compare, in fact, how much emission if we use those electricity vehicles from Jakarta to Bali. And turned out to be that it's quite interesting, the result. First, the electricity vehicles, mid-size car, 74 kilowatt-hour battery capacity. They need 7 times charging. And also another electricity vehicles, luxury car, with 108 kilowatt-hour battery capacity. They need 2 times charging. So with that, and we calculate according to our emission factors in Java, Madura, Bali, approximately around 0.7 kilogram per kilowatt hours. The amount of emission reached 285 for this mid car and 166 for the luxury car in kilogram carbon dioxide equivalent altogether. In regard with the hybrid car, the efficiency we counted around 16 kilometer per liter. Turned out to be the emission carbon dioxide equivalent, kilogram carbon dioxide equivalents accounted around 178. And surprisingly, with the ICE P40 biodiesel, because we use 2 cars thanks to MEMR, they help us by introducing 2 cars. First is the full-size SUV, and the other is the MPV. By using P40 blended biodiesels, the emission accounted approximately 146 kilogram carbon dioxide equivalent. So those are the result that we have during this green transport rally, showing that if we can't really reduce the supply side, which is the power duration, 0.7 kilogram per kilowatt hour, we can still emitting more carbon dioxide into the air. So the homework is not only converting converting the engine itself into electricity, but also the supply side. Even if we try to reduce, increase the share of RE in power generation in Jamali, let's say 50% coming from RE, the emission for this mid-size car still more than 140. And the full-size luxury car, approximately 80. And if we increase the B40 to B80, then the emission will be reduced to 70. So you can imagine in what way that we need to go through. And not to mention the challenges that we have. 90% of the oil mineral processes is coming from one country, which is China. And we don't want to repeat our mistake back in 1970, where the world really depending on one region in terms of the energy supply. When the price is very volatile, then globally becoming a bit, having challenge in terms of this, continuous supply and the price affordability. So we don't want to repeat those mistakes again. So how Southeast Asia try to cope those problems? So we try to bring all of these processes industry to the region. This is one of the possible way to increase our competitiveness, because we do have approximately 20 to 30% of those minerals in this region. And we have also the biggest, largest bioresources producers in the world. So with these two combinations, I think Southeast Asia will not be a part of the problem in the future, but Southeast Asia will be the part of the solution in the future. I do have also another interesting finding based on our report with IRENA. We did a study launched recently in 2023. We call it ERIA Outlook 2023. This is study with IRENA. And we also did our own study. We call it ASEAN Energy Outlook 7. Likely the lead of these authors over here, Dr. Zulfikar, perhaps later on he will explain a bit detail about that. The ASEAN Energy Outlook 7 and also ERIA Outlook 2023 with IRENA. So the assumption of these two, I just put two scenarios. First, the scenario from IO 7, I just select APS. APS is the regional agreed scenario based on the ASEAN Plan of Action for Energy Cooperation scenario. So over there, we assume the power generation coming from RE is 50% in 2050. And the end use or total final energy consumption shifting to electrification approximately around 20 to 25%. Right? So cars, industry, and all of these appliances in the household, approximately around 25% is electrification. While it's on the RE outlook in the 1.5 degree scenarios, which is we try to aim 1.5 degree scenarios target, ARENA assume 90% coming from renewable energy in the power generation. And 50% on the total final energy consumption is electrification. Meaning the cars in the street, 50% will be electricity vehicles. Industrial sectors, the thermal will be replaced by electrification. So with that, the interesting part is that how much the investment needed up until 2050. Turned out to be the scenario of the APS when we introduced 50% power generation coming from RE and 25% final energy consumption from electricity, we need approximately 0.8 trillion US dollar. What about our report with ARENA? 90% power duration, 50% penetration of the final energy consumption, we need approximately 3.7 trillion US dollar. You know, the 2022 GDP in ASEAN, 3.66 trillion US dollar, which is the similar amount that we need in 2050 if we want to change those power duration into more electrification and total final energy consumption 50% to electrification. There are two possibilities, a very big problem or a challenges or opportunities. As I mentioned earlier, if we try to cover, if we try to move all of the productions of the potential minerals that we have in Southeast Asia, then those 3.7 can be as opportunities. So meaning the industrial sectors, the governments, and also financial institutions should work very hard to capture those potential, to bring all of those processes industry to Southeast Asia. So by that, I think I will end my, my speech. Before that, I also want to quote what there are two quotes from the last AMEM coming from the Ministry Arifin Tasrif. We know that electrification is important. So we know that there is no transition without transmission. And also another thing from Minister's Tasrif is that there is also no security without connectivity. So meaning if we want to go through on this electrification, we have to expand our grid. We have to increase our capacity, grid capacity, through connectivity, improving transmission. And one important thing that perhaps we have to understand now, since we're discussing on the bioenergy, there will be no affordability without synergy. So the synergy between ERIA and either IOs, ACE, and also MEMR is one of the keywords for us to move forward, to make the region to be part of the solution in the future, not part of the problem. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Nuki. May I invite you to stay on stage for the photo session? Yes, okay. Now we are going to have photo session. For the first photo, please allow me to invite Mr. Koji Hachiyama and also Insinyur Senda Kanam to be on stage for the first photo session. Thank you. We are going to start the photo session. Please smile to the camera. 1, 2, 3, smile. Again, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay. Okay. Thank you. Excellency, please stay on stage. And now, please, I invite all moderators, presenters, and speakers for this first session to come up stage for the photo session. Please join on stage. We have Dr. Zulfikar, Mr. Din Sontran, Miss Dwi Pratiwi, Miss Dinta, Profesor Sutanto Suhodo, Mr. Triharsa, Mr. Jai Unchun, Assistant Professor Dr. Utani Spati, Mr. Thompson Juraiman, and also Mr. Trandon Fong from ERIA. Thank you. Please smile to the camera. 1, 2, 3, smile. Again, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, photo and videographers. Okay, please stay a little bit more. Okay. Okay, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. You may be seated. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm delighted to invite all of you to explore a special expo organized by MEMR located just behind of this room. In these two booths, you will gain insight into two key subjects, which is the conversion of internal combustion engine motorcycles into electric motorcycles and the utilization of B35 and other bioenergy products. Dr. Joko here will first guide the VIP speakers and participants, and please, all of you, you are all invited to enjoy the expo. We have allocated 20 minutes, so please make the most of your time. Thank you.
Thank you. Good morning. Welcome to booth for Directorate of Bioenergy MEMR. My name is Sabrina, and maybe you can see that there are several videos that we provide to describe the bioenergy implementation in Indonesia. This is the ASEAN Green Transport Rally that we conduct as the part of the ASEAN Chairmanship last 2 months ago. And maybe you can see that right now Indonesia is the pioneer of the biodiesel implementation with B35 blending of biodiesel to solar. And then as you can see here that this is the product of our biodiesel. You can see that this is the B0. B0 is solar, so full solar B0. So there is no biodiesel in here. And then this is the B35 that right now we implementing B35 starting on February 2023. And then right now we are trying to preparation for the B40 right now, 40% blending. And also we has biodiesel 100%, and also the other product is HVO or green diesel. We call it with D100, like this. So this is several of the biomass feedstock you can see as from the wood chip and then rice husk and palm oil pellet that we are trying to implement biomass for the power generation for the biomass power plant in Indonesia. And
what kind of
nggak nyala mic-nya. For the GTR is B40. This is B40. Yeah, for the GTR. And for the bioenergy power plant, right now we already implement for about 3 gigawatt right now. And then also the other program is we has a biogas, also biogas power plant, and then also biogas in the household sector. And also we are now have a business process for the bio CNG or biomethane in Indonesia. Yeah. And we have also, if you can move to our booth, that you can see some of our publication. We have a cooperation with a related stakeholder, including a GIZ Explore. Yeah. And for biomass, now we are trying to greening the coal power plant by co-firing biomass. Actually, all of this, we are trying to use several feedstock, Pak, so from biomass, and then we convert it to the pellet. And right now the percentage of the co-firing biomass for about 1.5 until 5%, Pak, in the PT PLN, in coal power plant by PT PLN Persero.
So mostly wood pellets or FIP?
Both of them, both,
Both.
yeah.
Okay, interesting. Okay.
And now we're still preparing the regulation for the biomass co-firing. Higher, yes. We hope that we can blending higher than 5%, but still in the preparation right now, Bu.
Do you foresee like some issue on because of the potassium and those ash contents of the biomass? Could the higher
actually
plants,
from PLN said that there is no issue for right now until the 5 until 10% co-firing of biomass. But the issue is the regulation, because for right now we didn't have regulation yet to make sure about the management of the feedstock and then the price of biomass and also the purchase agreement between the producer and the PLN. Now we are preparing the regulation for that.
is Malaysia also trying to phase out coal power plant?
Yes, we are regularly will try to reduce coal power plant because we have a roadmap, net zero roadmap, that we will reach net zero in the 2060 to 2060 or sooner. So we hope that there is no more coal power plant in Indonesia in 2060.
Regarding with the feedstock, do you have any issues with that, or you have to develop your own industrial, wood industrial forest around the power plant to make sure the feedstock is stable enough, or you have to, get it coming from different island, and what would be the strategy of that?
Yeah, actually the sustainability of feedstock is the main issue, ya Pak. But we are trying to make some kind of a supply chains mechanism, so all of the feedstock can manage in one institution or one scheme, so we can get the feedstock easier. And also about the quality, we already conduct standardization, national standard for the feedstock From the sodas and then from the EFB, we already have the national standard for the co-firing biomass. Several feedstock from biomass, Pak, to support this program.
So it's a national standard with satisfied by some laboratory or the.
Yeah, with the badan standarisasi standard Bureau in Indonesia, so everyone who wants to make a pellet biomass has to fit with that standard, because we have to sure that all the feedstock will be gained to reducing the emission. So not just easy that we put all the biomass in the generator, but we have to make sure that the pellet, the biomass is in line with our goals to emission reduction.
Another interesting part is the sustainable aviation fuel.
Yeah.
My question is whether you do have any strategy on that, and
Statistic?
strategy.
Strategy.
Yeah. Or are you going to use waste cooking oil, which is most of these activities around the globe, they tend to use waste cooking oil for the SAF rather than the bioresources that you have?
Yeah. Right now we are focusing on feedstock from palm oil, Pak, still from palm oil, or we call it with RBDPKO. Sorry, I don't remember the detail from the RBDPKO, but still the focusing feedstock is still from palm oil, because we still have a huge potential of palm oil. And maybe you already know that we already conduct a flight test last month, I think, from with PT Garuda Indonesia, and then the blending is 2.4 bioafter, and now we are preparing to conduct flight test in the commercial airplane. 2.4%, just a little, Pak, but maybe step by step we will increase the percentage. And also we are trying to preparing the roadmap also, Pak, so we can sooner implement this bioafter. For UCO, we thinking about that, Pak, but right now still from the palm oil.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Have you enjoyed today's event?
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you. Our booth in from Balai Besar Survei dan Pengujian KEBTKE. We have program conversion from ICE to electric vehicle motorcycle, and Dr. Slamet will explain about our program.
Baik, terima kasih Bu Rosalin. Thank you very much. This is the electric motorcycle conversion from ICE motorbikes. The electric motorcycle, there is three main components. We are using the PLTC motor, process CC motor. This one using the mid-drive motor, and the second we are using the battery packs with the energy capacity 1.44 kilowatts hour. The voltage using the 72 volt and 20 ampere hour. And the last electric control units, we are using the maximum current 100 ampere, and others component supportings. Component supportings consists of battery, energy capacity, speed regulator, wiring set, and others. I think we would like to inform in Indonesia the population of electric motorbike two-wheelers, 127 million units until now. So the government would like to reduce to convert to electric motorcycle. We would like to reduce the CO2 emission, right? And this is the sample of the PLTC motor. This one is local production. This one is brackets. and this is the battery energy indicator battery, and this one is the electric control units, like this, and this is the DC-DC converter, step down 72 volts, to convert to 20 volts, and this one the battery packs. The dimensions.
This one is 1.7 kilowatt
Yeah,
hour.
1.44 kilowatts hour.
1.44
Energy
kilowatt
capacity. Yeah.
1.40.
Using the voltage 72 volts, 20 ampere. hour.
70 kilometers distance.
No,
One
distance.
single charge.
1.4 kilowatts hour. You can get the distance around 43 kilometers.
43 kilometers. Okay, makes sense. What about the other one?
This one the more bigger.
Oh, that's big
Yeah,
one.
30 ampere hour, but the same voltage.
Okay.
This one the power capacity 2 kilowatts.
2 kilowatt.
Yeah. Yeah. Ken. There are in Ministry of Transportation Regulation, depends of the capacity of machines before ICE. This one 2 kilowatts, 3 kilowatts, and 4 kilowatts. Yeah. Depends on the capacity of ICE.
The 2 kilowatt of
Yeah, 2 kilowatts
motor.
for 100,
How-
110 until 140 cc.
So how is the maximum speed with the full load that you can
The
go with this
maximum-
side of the motor?
Actually, the maximum speed, we can set more than 100 kilometers, but I would like to limitation for the
Okay.
speed might be 70 kilometer per hour.
What is the minimum speed that allowed the vehicle running on the road?
Minimum speed,
Is there any minimum speed?
yeah, minimum speed maybe to 20 kilometer per hour.
20 kilometer per hour. All right. So if we go less than that, if vehicle go like at less than 20 kilometer per hour, the vehicle will not be allowed to drive on the public road. Is that correct?
Can drive on the roads maximum 70 kilometers per hour for electric motorcycles.
Okay. Because in some country, we allow like a vehicle that can have the minimum speed at least 45 kilometer per hour.
Oh.
If you go below that, go below that, they will not allow you to drive on the public road
Oh, yeah,
because
I see.
we'll
Yeah.
have some traffic issue.
Okay.
And one more question: 1.4 kilowatt hour of the battery side, how far you can go per one charge?
40 around 40 kilometer with the
40
energy
kilometer.
capacity 1.4 kilowatts hour. You can
Okay.
get the around 40
40 kilometer.
yeah, 45 kilometer.
Okay, that's good.
One pack, sir.
Okay.
One battery pack.
One more last question. If the vehicle gets converted like this, and then you need to get the vehicle registered before put in on the road, right? So how difficult or what's any other procedure that you need to do that? Because one is come with the plate, it come with the ICE plate, right? And when you're done with the conversion, you need to get the new registrations with the EV conversions platform.
I think it's not. I think it's very easy to convert the ICE to electric motorcycle. But maybe the electric control units already software. Yeah.
I'm talking about in
Yeah.
terms of registration.
Registration for the electric motorcycle, I think it's very easy. via the police. Yeah.
Is there
Yeah,
any
yeah,
test?
yeah,
I mean,
absolutely.
the requirement.
But the difficult is how to get the certificate of testings, right? Through the Ministry of Transportation.
Right.
But to check the documentation from ICE to electric motorcycle is not difficult.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. But the point is when you need to
But,
get the vehicle
yeah,
registered, you
the
need to
difficult to
show
get,
them
yeah.
the proof of the test result. Make sure
to
that
get
it's
the
safe
certificate
enough.
of- yeah.
Safe enough, and it can run at least to certain speed level, and also how long you can
Yeah.
drive. Okay. Yeah. Thank you.
I have one question. Perhaps everybody want to also to know. First is how much it costs to convert, and how many months or years the break-even point will be.
I think around 15 million. Yeah. One converts 15 millions. Yeah. Yeah. 15 millions.
1,000 US dollar.
Yeah.
Okay, 1,000 US dollar. Okay. And how long it takes to break even?
To
Atau kembali balik modal?
berapa?
5 tahun, 5 years?
Ya, sekitar 5 until 7 years.
7 years. Okay.
Depending on how much you drive it. Depending on how much you drive it.
Halo Pak, ini mau nanya Pak, this is the you modify, right? What is the all component? Do you have a picture? Because you using this Yamaha, right? They are combustible. Then you change it into this. What are the component? Do you have the demonstration of the old one here? So at least you know how many material been using.
Mostly same, but the different wiring sets, different types, different wiring set. But the main components and others are almost same. Different wiring sets. If the ICE motorbikes different, so the wiring sets are different also.
Yeah, I know, but at least you take it out, right? As whether it's as a scrap or something. But if you demonstrate it and put it in the exhibition, that will be people will see how many component, and it will reduce it to how many. Yeah.
How many components?
Yeah, because I think the old one will be more than.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this is the new one, but the old one, the combustible one, the one that they are scrapping it.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe the supporting components, I think, very many very component supporting, right? Another the main components. Yeah.
Yeah, because you are doing the modification, right? Because you're not making it from the original factory.
Yeah, the local factory. I know the PLDC already local factory. The ACU already local factory. The battery packs assembly. No, until now assembly. There is no to produce the cell battery.
Yeah.
Only Indonesia, only PT FPC.
PT
FPC.
nggak, maksudnya buat kebutuhan demo aja kan. Ini kan di upgrade. Tapi ini kan produk-produk buat EV yang produk combustible-nya kalau bisa dipilih juga. Jadi kelihatan komponen yang banyak menjadi ini yang baru kan. Iya.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Sementara yang lamanya
we will hear further explanation from Insinyur Sanda later after this. So may I invite you to come back to your seat as we are going to start our program very soon.
Ya,
Thank
tapi kan
you.
mau di-upgrade ya. Diganti ininya.
Doing two running together.
Check. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, unfortunately, the time is up. We are going to hear further explanation on this booth later. So may I invite all of you to come back to your seat as we are going to start our program very soon. Thank you. For your information, the booth will be here all day, so you will have enough time to revisit the booth and talk to the exhibitors on the lunch break, on the break time, until the end of this day today. So ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who are joining us online, thank you for your patience. We hope we are having a good time here at the expo. I hope you can enjoy from the video camera. May I invite all of you to come back to your seat as we are going to start our program very soon. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for coming back here on time. Now we are continuing our program. Please welcome to the stage the Head of Electricity Testing and Survey, Main Center of the Directorate General of New Renewable Energy and Conservation of MEMR. Please welcome to the stage Insinyur Senda Kanam.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Selamat pagi, salam sejahtera untuk kita semua. My honor, Mr. Konji Hachiyama, also Bapak Nuki Agia Utama, our colleagues from ASDM, from ERIA and UNDP. It is our honor to be here to explain our program about electric motorcycle conversion. This is our main program that we try to introduce to ASEAN. Please allow me to introduce myself, Senda Hormuzan Kanam. Okay. And our institution, it was we call Balai Besar Survei Pengujian Ketenaga Listrikan, and we are carrying program for electric conversion motorbike, and we are doing some testing for electric motorbike. This program is very important because Indonesia is the biggest motorbike user. We are number 3 after China, India, and Indonesia. Our population right now for motorbike around 120 million motorbikes, and it consumes all of our import oil because we cannot produce all of oil. So It means we really depend on oil for our motorbike. So this program is very important for us to reduce our depending on oil. Like in coal power plant, we want to use phase out, the phase out program for motorbike. That's why we want to do conversion, that we hope we can take off from all of motorbike from the street and convert to electric bike. This is our base regulation from Presidential Regulation number 55, 2019. Okay, and our ministry regulation that we call General Guideline for Permanent SDM number 3, 2023, for supporting the conversion. From this regulation, we give the incentive, we call bantuan pemerintah, incentive for about 7 million rupees for people who want to do conversion. And this is our roadmap, the government, that we target 30 million motorbike in 2030 and 2 million for four-wheelers. And our strategic, we start for conversion from 2020 2 unit, and 2021 100 unit. 2022 we are targeting 1,000. That's program. But until 2022 we success to do conversion 143 from the ministerial, the SDM motorbike. Right now, this year we do conversion in our lab for 350 units. The program for government for 2023 is 50,000 with incentive, and the next year 150,000. This is the complete scheme of conversions is very important. First, for conversion, we develop the ministerial develop the incentive for 7 million. And the second, the important thing is about battery. The battery, we need to develop the flow management, the ecosystem battery, starting from when it is ready for use for motorbike, and we need to develop the swap station battery, and the second life of the battery we can use as best for energy storage, and after that we need to recycling the battery. The third scheme about the documentation and regulation. This is the most tough of the conversion, because all of the conversion need to be tested by Ministry of Transportation, and it's really take a lot of effort and time. That's why the next future we want to propose that we would like to propose a speed limit for the bike. Like in China, 20 kilometer, we don't need to get approval for motorbike. If the conversion bike can run under 50 or 40 kilometer, can be treated as a normal bike, then it will support the program. The last is about the scrap from the equipment from the old bike. This is the battery we developed for this year. We already successfully developed battery with TDL Global from Korea using LG battery for 20 ampere and can reach 43 kilometer. The others is 30 ampere for 60 kilometer. Right now we doing parallel for the Mospace motorbike that can reach 86 kilometer. The next target is using all-state battery, solid-state battery, can be double the capacity, so we can get more range, but it can be developed for 2025. Okay, that's the main component of motorbike is conversion is BLDC or electric motor and controller and lithium battery. And after that, we need to calculate the scrap of conversion. Maybe can be used for other purpose or can be sell that can be reduce the price of conversion. This is the scheme of swap battery. It's very important that we can swap our battery and so we can get more range. Also, we don't need to wait for charging the battery. Can use for 3 to 4 hours if we're waiting for charging the battery. And I mentioned about battery cycle can be used for motorbike and or for BESS system and recycle for another use. This is from what we have done the last 2 years. We like to propose new concept by regulation by Ministry of Energy Mineral Resources. If number one, conversion battery is normal what we have, but it's need a very long time to do. And conversion, number two, conversion with swap battery. That's really helping the people who use electric vehicle because they don't need to buy battery. The next conversion kit and the trade-in. Trade-in concept is adoption from PLN, State Electricity Company, that people who want to get a motorbike, electric bike, they can bring their bike and get the new bike. And this is a trade-in concept is very important. The key success for our program conversion and to pass out the old ICE motorbike from the street and we give the new motorbike for the people. So this is the trade-in concept which we adopt from the PLN. And this is another concept which is very important that we want to introduce. The next feature is zero rupiah conversion. It means from when there is incentive from government available, 7 million rupees. So we combine with swap system battery. So people don't need to buy a battery which is very expensive, almost 50% of the bike. The zero rupiah conversion with government incentive, so people just bring their motorbike and use the conversion kit and swap station. Hope this will be attractive for people to change to electric bike. And this is the whole concept what we want to do. The last from 2021, 2023, we call the first wave of motorbike conversion, where we do manually and at the workshop. It's really take time and the price is increasing time by time. Now we try to introduce the second wave of conversion by introduce conversion kit that we don't need to buy each component. The conversion kit will put together all the component and the existing swap battery system and trade-in concept. For this, we try to develop for this year and hope can attract for people who want to do conversion. The next 2025, 30, we hope with this system we can, there is new unicorn company will come from this conversion program. Then we also develop a project will be supported by UNDP. We try to introduce the conversion program in rural area, because in rural area not all oil and gas oil available. So we try to develop the showcase concept by using one solar panel to charge the battery and can be used for electric bike. This concept already implemented in the Papua, in Agat, in rural area. They don't have oil, and because government also try to do BBM satu harga, oil for one price. So with this electric bike can support the program. The second, we try to develop showcase that electric bike can be more greener, which is mean if we put like in mini market solar panel and with swap station, so people can use the greener swap system battery. This program we try to develop with UNDP support. I think that's all from my presentation. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Insinyur Sanda, for introducing us to these very good initiatives. We have learned a lot from you today. Okay, thank you, Insinyur Sanda. Okay, for the next presentation, we are going to hear from the manager from the ASEAN Center for Energy. Please welcome to the stage Dr. Zulfikar Yurnaidi.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for having me to share with you some of our studies and research in ASEAN Center for Energy with the topic of sustainable electric vehicle use in Southeast Asian countries. I think we have heard a very interesting keynote from Engineer Sanda previously, especially on how Indonesia is currently pushing on the electrifications of their fleet, especially for the motorcycle. I will start my presentation by very quick introductions about ACE. So we are the intergovernmental organizations within ASEAN structure that represents the interests of the 10 ASEAN member states in the energy sector. In Indonesia, it is the Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources. We play a role as a think tank, as a catalyst, and also as a knowledge hub. So we conduct research and cooperation activities in various facets of energy, including the use of energy in transport sector, be it in form of oil products, biofuel, and also electric vehicle. But most of all, we are the implementing agency of the APAEC, which is the Regional Energy Cooperation's blueprint. We are currently in the phase 2021-2025 of the APAEC, and we are aiming to have the balance of the energy security, accessibility, affordability, and sustainability for all, which we usually call the 4 pillars of the energy cooperation in ASEAN. And we also noted the importance of energy transition and energy resiliency. Of course, this is in relations with the need of the ASEAN member states to pursue economic growth. And among the 7 program area, the electric vehicle is actually not really stated, but we usually map it under the energy efficiency and conservations, and also in the renewable energy, especially related with the biofuel utilizations. Our target in ASEAN is to reduce the energy intensity by 32% by 2025, and also to increase the share of renewable energy to 23% in primary energy supply and 35% in installed power capacity. This is noting, of course, the importance of bioenergy as the renewable energy share in the transport sector, and also transition to electric vehicle or electrification, which can address both the need of energy efficiency, but also renewable energy. Talking about transport, I think the case of Indonesia is actually quite similar with the other ASEAN member states. It is the second highest energy consuming sector, right after the industry sector. And we can see in here, the projections of the utilizations of energy in transport is going to be increasing in the future. It's responsible for 1/3, 34% of the final energy consumptions. And most importantly, almost 72% of our oil demand is actually being consumed in transport sector. So any energy securities related with oil, the answer is to address it, we also need to address the transport sector in ASEAN. And the number is projected to grow 3 times until 2050. In the road transport, we see, of course, the increase of the need for the vehicles, be it in the private passengers, buses, trucks, but also motorcycles. And the private passengers is estimated to dominate with 50% share, and this is, of course, in relations with the higher economy, better economy. People will transition from the motorcycles to private vehicle. As mentioned before, the high utilizations of oil in transport sector creates an energy security problem for ASEAN. We have been a net importer of oil even since early 2000s, and the need of this net import will continue to be increasing, especially noting that we do not have much new reserves in the oil. We also noted usually that the region can also become a net importer of gas as early as 2025 and even maybe coal in 2040. So meaning this switching of a fuel from oil products in transport into biofuel and also electrifications or electric vehicle is very important for us to reduce oil dependencies and also increase the energy security in ASEAN. In relation with that, we also noted and collaborated with our member states that to have a higher policy relations with the deployment of electric vehicle. We noted almost all member states, 8 out of 10, actually have their own targets on the share of electric vehicle. Like Indonesia, for example, in 2040, the target is 100% of e-motorcycle sales. I do believe we also have like targets in 2030, but we just put it here just to share with the other member states. Thailand, for example, they also target 100% EV sales in 2035, and Indonesia is the EV target is in the 2050. Collectively, these targets lead to the ASEAN's leaders to announce what we call the ASEAN's leader declarations on the EV ecosystem that was launched in this year during the ASEAN Summit. And this is noting the importance of EV to achieve the net zero emissions and the importance of having a regional standard EV roadmap and also collaborations between member states in forming what we call the EV ecosystem. As per our study, the 7 ASEAN Energy Outlook, especially in the baseline scenario, we actually noted that the share of electric vehicle might not be very high in 2050 if we continue with the same policies. Maybe around only 10% of the private passenger vehicles will be coming from the EV, meaning that there are still a huge homework for the ASEAN member states if we want to increase this electric vehicle penetrations in the future. But we also noted a very good progress. On the right-hand side, we see that the EV sales in Indonesia, for example, has grown for around 16 times in the year 2022 compared to 2021. If we can see in the second line over there, Indonesia. So very high growth, but this is also maybe noting that Indonesia is a bit lagging compared to the others. Thailand, for example, is increasing their EV sales by 300%, and the number of their EV sales is actually still higher than Indonesia. So again, there are a lot of room for Indonesia to expand the penetrations of EV in their market. But for us to actually maximize the benefits of electric vehicle would require a holistic and integrated approaches. As mentioned by Idinuki before, it's not only cleaning up the transport sector, the NU sector, but we also need to think about the infrastructure. We also need to think about the power system, for example, and also how we can combine this solution of electric vehicle with the biofuel, which of course we also have a lot of potential with. So I think it's very interesting topic that we explore today, that we deal both with the EV and also the biofuel side of sustainable transport. As noted in the study here from our ASEAN Energy Outlook, we see that the penetrations of both the biofuel and EV can reduce the dependence on oil by almost 30%. But then, of course, we can even expand this number. As noted, a bit of caveat in electrification is that we need to address this power plant decarbonization as well. As mentioned by Dr. Nuki before, it might be possible that the EV have a higher emissions of GHG due to the emission factor compared with the biofuel, especially if we assume that biofuel as the net zero fuel, meaning that it does not produce emission in its life cycle. So to maximize the EV development, of course, we need to strengthen first the emission and fuel quality standards. So as I mentioned before, our discussion with sustainable transport starts with the energy efficiency and conservation, meaning that reducing the needs of transport, improving the fuel economy is our first priority. Second is to integrate the solutions from the biofuel and also EV, how those two solutions can be synchronized, because our end goal is of course to reduce the energy security issues from oil import. So addressing those two in a comprehensive manner would be very important. In terms of EV deployment, I think Indonesia is pushing forward with many regulatories and incentives from the supply side, from the demand side, and also even beyond from the fuel supply chain side, including the battery and also the operation and maintenance of electric vehicle. So it's, I think, a very good starting point. But also what's important is the EV infrastructure, the charging stations, the battery swap, which is also very important for us to have an integrated EV ecosystem. Last but not least is to assess the life cycle impact, and this means also to think about how we produce our battery, how we produce our electricity, how we energize our automotive industry. So this is also very important. So we have a best net zero, emission reduction strategies moving forward. This is just the two last remaining slides. This is the insights from the GTR 2023, what was mentioned by Dr. Nuki before, and I think we can see the videos in the booth. We noted that the mid-size BEV actually have a higher emissions compared to the others, with the assumptions that we have, of course, compared to the biofuel that have the B40. So we assume the 40% of the biodiesel is a non-emitting sources because of its life cycle. So this means that it's very important for us when we address the issues of emissions with the EV to address this whole life cycle emissions. But this is just initial calculations. Of course, we have to think about the battery productions and also others. So that's something that we would like to pursue in ACE to address this life cycle assessment of various sustainable transport options. Maybe this is my last slide, just to bring the ASEAN initiative that we have just recently the strategy for carbon neutrality, if we see one of the 8 strategies include the accelerate the green value chain integration. And this is in line with what I mentioned before, the ASEAN leaders statement on the EV ecosystem. So I think Indonesia, for its efforts in achieving the EV targets, it's very important to collaborate with other countries in ASEAN. So together we can develop this EV ecosystem and optimize the goals that we want to have, which is to reduce emissions from the transport sector. I think that would be all from me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Zulfikar, for your presentation today. We have one more presentation. So please allow me to invite to the stage the Energy Economist of ERIA, Dr. Aloysius Joko Purwanto.
Yes, good morning all, and welcome again to this Gedung Teknologi Lemigas. And I would like to greet also Pak Insinyur Senda Hurmusan Kanam and Pak Dr. Nuki and all colleagues from MEMR, ERIA, ACE, and also all speakers and all honorable participants. So my name is Joko Purwanto. I'm Energy Economist of ERIA. I just would like to talk about this topic that is a bit similar to what my colleague Dr. Zul has presented. So the impacts of electric vehicles in Indonesia, but also I will show you a bit of the results in ASEAN, specifically in the energy, climate and change and economy. So if we observe actually what are the reasons behind the needs of EV in ASEAN, I mean, if we would like to be honest, then the first that comes is to avoid the energy trade balance from becoming more negative, because we are importing oil in most of the ASEAN countries. And then we would like to develop and participate also in the development of EV industry. And then, yeah, we think about the environmental effect, so improving air quality in urban area. And unfortunately, at the very end, it might be the reducing of greenhouse gas emissions. So is it true or not? This is the things that I would like to invite all of us to discuss today. So in this occasion, I would like to present to you one of the study that ERIA has done. We distributed books for free that contains the first part of the study, and this contain the first and second part, and you can download this study in this link. And this will cover the effect of EV in ASEAN, but I will show you only some Indonesian cases, capture the effect of EV penetration on energy, climate change and economy. We assume no breakthrough on the power generation mix, and then we use some assumption on the growth of GDP, population, and then different relevant techno-economic costs, and as well as we are using vehicle turnover model and input-output models. So this is the base of our scenario. For Indonesia, for example, we have the car and two-wheelers or motorbikes ownership rate that we assume to grow. And we see that in Indonesia, we use more, there are more two-wheelers or motorcycles in the street. And we expect that by 2040, there will be 546 motorcycle per 1,000 of population, or like a half motorcycle per person. And then by 2040 as well, we assume that there will be 200 cars for every 1,000 of population. And we also assume the sales of powertrain in Indonesia that by 2040, 90% will be, this is the reference scenario. So this is the most basic or baseline scenario. So we assume that by 2040, penetration of electric vehicles will be based mainly on the hybrid electric vehicle. So not the plug-in one, but the conventional hybrid. And then for bike, it will be 34% by 2040 will be electric motorcycles. And this is the part of the energy use in road transport sector. So in road transport sector, we expect that the use of oil will increase from the currently more than 40 megaton of oil equivalent to reach almost 70 megaton of oil equivalent. And then we expect that by 2040, transport will contribute between 30 to 40% of energy consumption. But this is again a reference scenario. And this is the most important thing. In the right side, we see power generation mix, that we assume that we will be almost the same by 2040. So 56% by coal, 23% by gas, and only 15% by renewable. Of course, this assumes that we will not be able to reach our 23% of renewable use in power plant by 2025. And we assume also several scenarios. The left side is the four charts for the cars, and the right side is the 4 charts for the motorbikes. So for cars and for motorbikes, we have 4 scenarios. So the left utmost chart is the reference scenario, where penetration of electric vehicle will be based on the hybrid electric vehicle and only will reach like 25%. And then we have a HEV bridge scenario, where the penetration of hybrid vehicle will come first, and then followed by the plug-in and battery electric vehicle. And we have the 2 most important scenario. The left bottom chart is BEV ambitious, which means that BEV cars will be 100% by 2040. And then e-motorcycle advance, we have in the right side, that is for motorcycle, which means that e-motorcycle advance scenario means that we will have 100% of e-motorcycle in sales by 2040. So this is the effect of CO2 emissions by scenario. So this is similar to what Pak Nuki and also Pak Zul has shown us based on their empirical data that they calculated from the GTR. So in fact, if our power generation mix in Indonesia will remain the same, then the effect on the carbon reduction will be very limited, or otherwise will be 0. So we can see that by 2040, even with the BEV ambitious, like the 100% of sales of BEV by 2040, the reduction of CO2 emission will be not more than 5 megaton of CO2. So it means nothing. And then if we see the impact on the oil import, it is true that it will happen. Some oil import reduction will happen mostly by the BEV ambitious scenario. And then the net import bill of fossil fuels by scenario is also will get better because we reduce the import of oil, but we increase our use of coal and then gas. Okay, so Indonesia is also implementing a subsidy. And in the scenario, we also have subsidy policy measures implemented. That means that the subsidy is meant to close the gap in 5 years of the total cost of ownership of owning and operating electric vehicle and internal combustion engine vehicles. And we see that Indonesia, in terms of cumulative CO2 reduction, will be at the rightmost side. That means that CO2 reduction will be big in Indonesia. Of course, because Indonesia is big in terms of population and also economy. But if we see the subsidy per CO2 reduction, we see that it is very high. Like the BEV scenario, we can see that Indonesia, like that BEV point in the rightmost upside, it will be nearly 1,400 USD per ton CO2. But if we start with electric motorcycle, then it will be quite low subsidy for CO2. This is the effect of economy. So we use ripple effect modeling And in the left side charts is the model where we assume that there is no budget constraint case. That is no budget constraint. That means that we limited the effect on the EV related sectors. In the right side, we see production and employment in terms of budget constraint case. So we assume that every saving that we have in the electric vehicle or the transport sector will be used in other sectors. And then every spending will also be saved in other sectors. That is, that's the meaning of the right charts. So from the left chart, we see that the ripple effect will be negative. The economic effect will be negative in terms of production value. First of all, because of the reduction of the use of fossil fuel, the use of oil. And so we save that and we spend in electricity. Saving means negative for this kind of budget, no budget constraint case. And then also for the employment, it will be also negative because the ripple effect of the producing electric battery is very small. That means that the electric battery industry and then the component of EV industry will be less employment intensive than what we have now in the conventional automotive sector. But if we see that the effects of EV in other sectors, that means that in the right chart, the budget constraint case, we see that for the motorcycle scenario, the effect will be a bit positive. That means that the saving in the energy side will compensate the expense on the loss that we have in the fuel consumption. And then we see also that the effect of BEV penetration will be negative for the production value in terms of budget constraint. Again, this back to the fact that the triple effect of the battery industry is relatively small compared to what we have now in the conventional vehicle industry. But for the employment, we will see that by introducing motorcycle scenarios, we will see that the employment will be positive. That means that the saving that we get in the reduction of energy use in the electric vehicle, motorcycle scenario will be used in other sectors. And in this model, we see that the increase will be happening in the service sector, agricultural sectors, and other food-related sectors, because they are like more employment intensive. And this is what happen if we produce battery, if we import battery, and if we import also battery, not only battery, but also electric vehicle itself. By producing battery ourselves, we can see that the effect will be less negative. That means that at the beginning, there will be two industry, battery and conventional vehicle that will be producing. But at the end, it will be becoming negative because the battery production sector will be having a small impact or negative impact to the ripple effect, and then as well as the employment. But a bad case will be happening if we import battery, and then the worst case will happen if we import battery and also electric vehicle. This is what we see back to the first slide about when we assume that the effect will be happening only in the EV-related sector, and if effect will be in the budget constraint, where we can see that, in fact, when we consider the change will be happen in other sectors, then it will be becoming more positive. So that means that we need policy measures that accompany electric vehicle measures that channel the change that we will have, the saving that we will have in the electric or mobility sector in the other sectors. So this is to conclude that, again, this is very magical, and this is by coincidence that I also mentioned holistic, as Dr. Zul also mentioned holistic. So we need holistic approach to deal with the huge and complex system of the electric vehicle. We need strengthened policy measures, fast growing motorization rate, decommissioning of coal-fired power plants, boosting RE, and then need to assess ripple effect, economic effect, need accompanying measures, and then we need a design comprehensive EV roadmap. So this is to close. So holistic means that we need to take care of at least, of course, economic, power generation, rail mineral mining, and traffic congestion, especially in the urban area. And this is very sad that we show like last September, this newspaper news show that Indonesia considers labeling green financing for coal-fired power plants that supply EV battery makers. I hope, and we all hope that this plan or this kind of wacana or discussion won't take place. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Joko, for sharing your expertise and research results with us today. Ladies and gentlemen, before we start with the first panel discussion, I would like to invite all of you to have a very short 5 minutes coffee break. The tea are served beside this room. For the VIP participants, you can come to this side of the room, and for all participants, you may take all your coffee and tea on the other side of the room, which is on the right side of this room. We will have a very short 5 minutes break, so please make sure to take your coffee and enjoy it inside of this room. See you in 5 minutes. Thank you.
jati di mahati indak karuswah ayam den lape ayam den lape mendaki jalan pandai sike menurun jalan kabiaro di mahati indah kamau pe awak tak kicua ayam den lape si kwa capang si kwa cape sai kwa tabang sai kwa lape lape laju onan karimbo oi lama laju magaru yuang batu sangka tampe bajalan urang baso duduk taman uang tiok sabata oi takkan aju ayam den lape si kwa capang si kwa cape sai kwa tabang sai kwa lape lape laju onan karimbo oi lama lang juo pagaru yuang batu sangka tampe bajalan urang baso dua taman uang tiok
Ladies and gentlemen, may I invite all of you to come back to your seat as we are going to start the program very soon. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. Thank you for coming back here on time from a very short break. Now let us continue to the panel session 1 on the discussion about the economy of converted electric motorcycles and the impacts on energy systems, emissions, and air pollution. Allow me to introduce the moderator of the session. She is the technical officer from the ASEAN Center for Energy. Please welcome to the stage Ms. Dinta Trishana Munardi.
Good morning, distinguished participants and also delegates. First, please allow me to introduce myself. I'm Dita, the Technical Officer from the ASEAN Center for Energy. And today is a pleasure for me to be the moderator for this first panel sessions for today's workshop. So for these panel discussions, we will be focusing on the economy of converted electric motorcycles and also the impacts of on the energy system and also the environment. And today we will be having 3 distinguished speakers and panelists to join this session. I would like to invite first all of them one by one to come up to the stage. First, we have Mr. Din Sontrak from the International Council on Clean Transportations, and also Ms. Dwi Pratiwi from the NTREF project of the UNDP and MEMR. And then the last, we have Professor Sutanto Suhodo from the University of Indonesia and Jakarta City Transportation Council. Please, the panelists. You may take a seat. Okay, thank you so much. So before we begin the panel sessions, please allow me to brief on the arrangement. So for these panel sessions, we will hear because we behind of schedule, maybe only 5 minutes presentation each speakers. And then after that, we will follow by the panel discussion. So without further ado, I would like to invite first the first speaker, for Mr. Dean Sontrang. He's the researcher of the International Council on Clean Transportations. He focused on the vehicle technology and policy research to reduce greenhouse gas emissions and air pollution from two-wheelers and light-duty vehicle in Vietnam. So yeah, I pass the mic to Mr. Son to present the slide first.
Thank you, Ms. Dinta. Thank you for having me today. I will use this one to. Hi everyone. My name is Ding Chonchen. I'm a researcher from the International Council on Clean Transportation based in Vietnam, and I'm happy to present my presentation. I think we are a little bit behind the schedule, so I will make it fast. My presentation will be ASEAN market analysis and also the electrification in Vietnam. I have 3 sections today. ASEAN market, the second one is electric market in Vietnam, and the third one is a recommendation to promote EV market. First of all, the ASEAN market is a huge market in the world, led by Indonesia with almost 7 million, and followed by Vietnam with about 3 million, Philippines, Thailand, and Malaysia. We can see the new sales in 2020 is a bit lower than 2019 because of the COVID-19. And in terms of brands, we can see the Japanese brand is dominate the market with Honda. Honda account more than 60-70% in Indonesia, Vietnam, and Thailand, and Honda and Yamaha account more than 50% in Philippines. But the ICE motorcycle in ASEAN is a small motorcycle with the range from 100 to 125 cc. It dominates the market. And about the electric motorcycle, Vietnam is doing very good job with about 8%, and the last year is about 11% already, and Indonesia, Philippines about 1 to 1.3%. And it's different than the ICE market. Electric market in ASEAN is not dominated by the Japanese manufacturers. It's dominated by domestic brand and other countries. Even the COVID-19 pandemic effect, but from the sales in 2020 is increased significantly than 2019. And about the power of the electric motorcycle, electric is only 1 to 1.5%. I'm sorry, 1 to 1.5 kilowatt hour. Take a closer look for Vietnamese electric market. It is increased significantly from 2017 to 2021 with around more than 10%. And the market is the manufacturers is domestic brand with led by VinFast more than 45%, and the max speed is about 40 to 50 kilometers per hour. However, the technology on battery is quite behind, with the around 70 to 80% is lead acid technology. In Vietnam, we are working very hard on the policies and also the policies to help the manufacturers, also the consumer to achieve our target for net zero in 2050. Last year we have a decision 876 focused on the transition, green energy, and mitigate the carbon dioxide, and we have a very detailed plan for that. And the last one is some recommendation to promote electric vehicle in ASEAN as well. I classified at 4 groups. First one is focused on the manufacturers. Second one is focused on the customer. Third one is for develop the charging infrastructure, and the last one is phasing out the in-use vehicle. To promote the electric capacity on the market, we need to support the manufacturers to enhance the capacity. Also, we tighten the vehicle emission standard for ICE, and then the electric investor can have more chance to work on that. And also for customer, we should give the fiscal incentive and also give the convenience for them. For example, we have a low emission zone, or we have kind of a parking slot for EV, and also discourage ownership and use of the ICE vehicle. And to make the consumer feel confident to use the electric two-wheeler, we should also develop the charging infrastructure and swapping system. We should set the target and draft plan to develop the EV charging network, and also we must develop the regulation on technical regulation, and each brand can swap or charge each other without any difficulty. And the last one is to phase out the dirty and low efficiency vehicle. By implementing the vehicle replace or scrapping program, we can phase out the dirty vehicle on the market. And in the city level, we also can implement some low emission zone or environmental zone, and restrict the use of the ICE vehicle, and also design and implement the regulation for inspection and maintenance regulation for ICE two-wheeler. Yeah, that's it from my side. Thank you so much for your attention.
Thank you so much, Mr. Son. Next, for the next speakers, I would like to invite Ms. Dwi Pratiwi, Coordinator Component 2 for the NTREF project of UNDP and MEMR. He has a background on international relations, international affairs in international energy. She is now coordinator for the Component 2 of the NTREF project, the enhancing readiness for the transitions to EV in Indonesia, and responsible for market implementations of EV use, and support 3 pilot regions in Indonesia. Please, Ms. Dwi, the time is yours.
Thank you, Mbak Dinta. Sorry. Oh, not this slide. I think, Mas, the last one that I sent to you. Sorry. So just to running the time, my name is Dwi Pratiwi. I'm a coordinator of Component 2 Project NTREF. NTREF is enhancing readiness for the transition to electric vehicles. NTREF project is under UNDP Indonesia and also Ministry of Energy and Mineral Resources, Directorate General of Electricity. So NTREF is just established officially. We established this year, February 2023, and the project is planning to run until early 2027. And also, NTREF have our NPM here, Pak Eko, attending this event with our colleague as well, Coordinator Component 1, Mbak Yofi. NTREF target, main target is the slide, not yet ya Mas ya. Not this one Mas, the last one that I gave you this morning, sorry. So project NTREF is, we got our donor project is GEF, Global Environmental Fund, and we have as a project under the Ministry and UNDP, we have project governance arrangement NTREF project. Basically, our project board consisting of development partner, UNDP Indonesia, Ministry of Finance, Ministry of Environment and Forestry, Ministry coordinating Ministry Investment and Maritime and Investment, and also our project executive is MEMR, and our beneficiary representative is Ministry of Transportation and Industry. Also, we have 3 pilot regions in NTREF. There are province of DKI Jakarta, province of Bali, and also province of West Java. So in NTREF project, we are right now focusing on those three regions to develop and deploy early market on BEV. Our implementing partner is Directorate General and Director General of Electricity. Cannot be next. Is nggak bisa di next ya Mbak? Okay, so basically NTREF right now working on the to strengthen the ecosystem of BEV, particularly on conversion, as we're talking about converting motorcycle from ICE to BEV right now. Okay, this is it. I'm sorry for the delay. First of all, I'd like to also adding something that our project goal is to reduce the direct GHG emission 473 ton CO2, and we want to increase volume of investment on BEV 134 million more and less. And the third target, main target of us, is to reach number around 87,000 women for the to involve, to working, to be a play role in the sector of BEV. As we know, as a UNDP requirement, to involve women in every activity on project NTREF. And this portion, this formation, Mbak Dinta, is a very perfect. We have 2 women and 2 men, which is equal. Gender balance is happen here. And also, when we talking about the economic of converted e-motorcycle, according to our project document, sourced from Institute Automotive Indonesia, the price of EV is 1.5 more expensive still compared to ICE. So it's the reality. When we focusing on the converting motorcycle, what is the component of converting motorcycle? What makes, for some people say that converting motorcycle is more still considered expensive, and these are the component. If we see here, the most expensive component for the converting motorcycle is the battery, BLDC, and controller. if we can reduce this pieces, this part, we can also reduce the price of the converting for the current price for converting motorcycle from ICE to BEV, according to the regulation, is 17 million, and this is the component, the component in converting. Without this component, the motorcycle cannot be converted, and the price is it. And it is the total is we deduct by 7 million from the incentive from the government. But still, the rest, which is still like 80, 90, 9, 13, or around 9 million, 10 million, still the cost for the rest is still borne to the end customer. And for some people, yeah, most of the people that we meet and Trev discuss, their opinion that this is still expensive. And however, using converting a motorcycle can have more saving, particularly in fuel, because like yesterday we just discussed with the government of DKI Jakarta that there was a member of the energy department in DKI mentioned that he usually using motorcycle like ICE, spending 15,000 or like a liter gasoline a day. But now, since he now using motorcycle, he just spend 15,000 for a month to charging the electricity. So the gap, the saving is quite huge. And also you don't need to think about maintenance and so on and so forth. However, the current condition of converted a motorcycle incentive program, we have to quote that incentive program, per that data for 10 September 2023, there are only total around 5,700 something applicants to register to the app, to the people who are willing to convert their motorcycle. That's quite a lot, impressive. However, the 3,000 of them canceled, the waiting list still like 1,000 something, and the conversion process who are ready, their motorcycle are ready for the converter is only 72. Why that's happened? Why? Because when those people who cancel it, some people thought their old motorcycle changed to the new one, and they thought they didn't need to pay any extra cost and etc. and so on. In fact, the information to them is not that reliable, so they're misunderstanding and they think that is still expensive, the rest of the cost. And if we see the table that I showed before, the most essential part is battery. This is the most expensive part. And the cost to register converted also, when we not only talk about the end customer, but we talk about the workshop who converted, the number still minimum. Because also not all the workshop can convert and can get this incentive for the government, only the certified one, and it costs quite expensive to get workshop grade A. It's quite expensive. And what does make it less popular is, yeah, there's the 5 reasons. Okay. And also what NTREF do? NTREF task is to strengthen the ecosystem. NTREF start from the workshop. We just, last month, we gave 6 conversion kits, including the motorcycle, ICE, to vocational schools, in 6 vocational schools in West Java, for them to have a subject on converting motorcycle, so they can build the youth for the next generation of Indonesia to understand, to aware, to work on this sector. And also we push them to open like BLU or public service agency for the converting motorcycle. And also encourage group of people to do the conversion. We planning to cooperate with Society Renewable Energy is a organization based on the university campus in Indonesia. We cooperate with them to achieve 1,000 converting motorcycle. Encourage, yeah, that's the, and the impacts of the energy system, of course, the data from MEMR. We can see from 2040, the gap, I mean, the use of gasoline will be reduced significantly until the electricity will dominate the use of energy in Indonesia, and it's in line, linear, for with the emission reduction. That's all, but I'm sorry for taking long. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Sorry about the technical issues, but I think we can address it later in the discussion. And last but not least, I would like to invite Professor Dr. Insinyur Sutanto Suhodo from the Jakarta City Transportation Council and also University of Indonesia. So Professor Sutanto has more than 100 publications, both nationally and internationally, in topics of transport network, demand analysis, policy and economics, and also public transport. Beside the researcher, he also head of safety and expediency of the Jakarta Transport Council, and also advisory board of the Indonesia Transport Society. Please, Professor, the time is yours.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me today. And I think I would like to grab some of the story of my presentation. Actually, I'm not talking about the converted EV very specifically, but I want to discuss about the impact probably of the possible impact of the use of the EV, for example. So let's move to the next. Okay. I would grab the example of Jakarta, because this is the city that I know more than any other city, that the Jakarta is a very populated, in which we have like 10 million people, which is this a kind of nice population. We have a highest economy development in the country, yeah, but we still have a very less road ratio, which is less than 8% indeed. Person trips per day, you can count like 28 millions. You can imagine this is a very busy city, and also we approximately see that the use of the public transport or the patronage of the public transport is only about 20 to 30%. Look at this number of scary situation that we have a number of cars of 3.8 million cars, motorbikes. I believe this is a number from the sales, which is like 17.3 million motorbikes we have already in place, and buses, which is, we should be dependent on this public transport mode actually, because mostly our land transport, which is having a fleet size of around only 37,180 vehicles. This is the data that we got in 2022. Okay, let's move. Okay, I don't want to discuss this further, because this is very obvious that Jakarta is keep growing with the populations, and also consequently we have a growth of trips in Jakarta, but nevertheless we have to talk also about the neighboring cities like Bodetabek, because they are coming in and out as a commuters. But basically Jakarta would have some trouble with the traffic, because from 2002, 2010 and 2020 we have a keep growing position of those engine based, not only two-wheelers, of course, four-wheelers, yeah, either in the CBD area or in other part of the city, as well as the surrounding cities. Just look at the most left figures, because those are the numbers that we keep on with these motorcycles. Those numbers is too big. If we compare Jakarta with the other cities in the surroundings, they are having a similar growth and very drastic growth. from year to year. So this is the fact that we are dealing actually with the situation of combating these two-wheelers, because it is resulting, of course, some of the situation that on the other way we try to promote the public transport, but the way around that we have the motorcycle promotion. Okay, Jakarta has some public transport like the BRT. Yeah, we have already growing up with I think the most drastic development of BRT, bus rapid transit, which is having like more than 200 kilometers in length. We have LRT, Jakarta alone LRT with 5.8 kilometers. We have the access net very soon in September 2023. We have a 5.4 kilometer extension. We have right now, quite current, that we are announcing that we have the LRT of Bodebek coming from the surrounding city. And then also the north-south bound of MRT, as well as the extension up to Ancol, for example, is westbound MRT of around 87 kilometers. But this is going to be, I think, in construction pretty soon on 2025. Jakarta Loop Line as the existing, which is being built by Dutch, I think, during the Dutch colonial, which is having like 30 kilometers. Intercity rail also coming from Tangerang, Bogor, Depok, and Bekasi. Motorbike, we look as a competitive mode, and it's not easy to combat with this because, you know, the route that I have told you that we have only less than 8% of route ratio. So we can imagine the VC ratio of this traffic performance. The VC ratio is so busy, and probably I should say that Jakarta having like 24-hour peak hours. So alternative mode with efficient energy, we know that. Yeah, flexibility in mobility with easy multiple trips per day. Yeah, no matter how good the public transport, probably it is very hard for you to make multiple trips a day. And it is more door-to-door service, which is not being combated by any other public transport, I believe. Easy and cheap to own, operate, and maintain. So you can imagine. So the emergence is becoming more and more drastically growth in terms of that there are a lot many right now the online taxi, yeah, like Grab, Gojek, and a lot many more, which is not only giving service to people, but also to goods movement. So I believe this is a kind of solution for people as a trip makers. Yeah. Whereas public transport is the solution, I believe, that government provide for those people. But the thing is, public transport network is not sufficient in terms of their services. The coverage is not really covering the whole city completely. And then it is mostly also road-based because there are so lack of rail-based public transport, which is dedicated, or probably the infrastructure is only for this certain kind of mode. So basically, those are in transport, public transport, land-based transport, actually are stranded in congested network within the city, and not flexible for multiple trips, yeah, as compared to just now I was mentioning about the motorcycles. So I was imagining that the solution from government perspective is actually growing amount of subsidy, yeah, but still cannot combating the use of motorbikes, yeah, to tackle down the road congestion. So what would be the proposition of EV for environmental issues? We know that still cost of battery is still high, probably 50 to 60% of the vehicle unit cost. Yeah, waste of battery creates a new environmental issue. And there are some emerging other energy, which is probably more greener. Those are the hydrogen-based energy. Yeah, we may come up as a cleaner or maybe better solution. I don't know. Maybe it is a matter of time because the technology is being developed all the time. There is a saying from Greenpeace actually, which is they are saying that EV only move pollution from exhaust to the industrial chimneys. We have to keep in mind this one. And finally, I would like to propose in this discussion probably what about the policy that we have to come up with this situation. So let's talk about the walk. So the consideration on the policy making would be electric vehicle over the potential zero emission transportation. But if the only owner recharges the vehicle from a zero emission source of electricity. I think this is quite rational. And then otherwise, electrification is simply shifting, emission from urban vehicle operating in the midst of population centers, in the Jakarta, for example, to potentially remote power plants. Secondly, probably we have to put in consideration that a case can also be made, actually, in which electric vehicles in Norway, for example, might have near zero emission because 95% of the country's power come from the renewable hydroelectricity. But the same vehicle driven in Poland has significant emission because 85% of Poland's power comes from high carbon emission coal. Three, I think promoting motorbikes, EV, potentially increase motorbike population, and it consequently give more congestion, and eventually probably no less pollution. Well, converted EV or two-wheelers or maybe four-wheelers EV, probably one of the solution, because we have to keep the number without increasing the number by sort like a quota system, for example. So this is, rather than buying a new one, probably you have to keep the old one and you can just convert to the engine. Finally, I would like also to propose that the cars and motorbikes may be the most reused consumer product, not only in US for this example, I think in many other countries, but in the US, for example, the market was illustrating that the lives of product can be extended throughout the resale. In the United States, used car sales outpace the new car sales, with the average car having about 3, probably even more owners during their lifetime. So this is, I think, kind of things that we have to put in our mind before we move on with this whole issue of EV. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Okay, thank you so much for all the speakers and also interesting remarks. Now we will deep dive on the panel discussion. I think I must start first with the context of the ASEAN countries. I think in terms of the public, the transportations among the ASEAN member state is quite more or less similar, and I think for the two-wheelers or motorcycle is something that very common in the ASEAN member states. So my first question maybe go to Mr. Son first. In regards for the ASEAN member states conditions or circumstances, what do you think the advantage or the benefits for us to exploring these conversions of the traditional motorcycle to EV ones?
Thank you, Mr. Dian. Thank you, Mr. Dinan. I think the biggest advantages from the ASEAN market is the number of the two-wheeler in the market now. For example, in Indonesia, it's more than 100 million, and in Vietnam it's more than 65 million. So we have a huge amount of the ICE vehicle to convert. So, and most of the ICE motorcycle on the market is from 100 to 125 cc, which is similar characteristic as the EV on the market, and we can easily convert from the ICE to EV. And the second one, I think, the electrification is the trend worldwide, and converting is one of the option or one of the steps for that transition. It helps consumer to get familiar with the new type of vehicle and give them the trust on the EV. And also in terms of education, converting ICE to electric, it means that we need to understand all the components there. So it also helps people to understand the worker, and also we also can apply for students in university. They understand that, and later they can work on the electric new factory built electric easier. They have better skills.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I think you mentioned a good points on it's not a very simple approach. We have to look into more supporting mechanism for the conversions. Maybe I will move to Ms. Dwi. From your slides, I think you mentioned several programs under the NTREF. Maybe you can explain more the status and the progress, the plans under the project, which targeted to support basically Indonesian government in creating the EV motorcycles market.
Thank you, Mbak. So as my slide before mentioned that now NTREF for the converting motorcycle, we work on three sectors. First, we are boosting workshop certification, focusingly in vocational schools in West Java, Bali, and DKI Jakarta. We discuss DKI Jakarta, maybe the numbers not that fancy yet because yeah, it's we just started a few months ago, and but we have significant number of vocational schools who are really focused and serious to developing the subjects and also their students to understand and to work in the future in the sector of converting, and that's very important to meet the demand because as we targeting in 2030 we want 13 million electric motorcycle. 6 million of them is converting. So we need this resources, the human resources. And the second one, we targeted a group to converting. We just planning, then now still the progress is discussing the cooperation with SRE, Society Renewable Energy. We targeted because they have branches in around 50 universities in Indonesia, and we want the member of SRE to convert their motorcycle, the youth to convert the motorcycle to electricity first. And we cooperate also with the private sector, Hyundai Kevico here, to implement to make a pilot project in Bali to push to reduce as much as possible the cost of converting. Hyundai Kevico comes with the idea of the swapping, the renting swapping, so the cost, so the customer will not need to buy the battery. So the 9 to 10 million rest of the cost of converting will be reduced by the battery itself. So it remains 2 million maybe, and we try to reduce it with Pak Jay. We'll discuss also after this session. And also we want to, because one of the main objective of MTREF is to build the infrastructure, swap and charging, public charging. So we conduct a study, a roadmap study, also to plotting which areas that are suitable and open to build this charging station. And once this roadmap is finished, we will share to the private sector so they can coordinate with the owner, the landowner, to build the charging infrastructure. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Mbak Dwi. And yeah, we're looking forward on the move forwards of this project. And I move to Professor Sutanto. I think that was really interesting that you brought up different perspective for this approach on how we greening the transportations. You also mentioned previously there are some aspects that drive the Jakarta citizen to basically choosing motorcycle for their daily commutes. My question is, what do you think are the key considerations that need to be taken into account by the government when they trying to transform the transport sector? Yeah, including the case of motorcycle. What do you think the key considerations?
Okay, I think the concern of government at local or probably national level should be looking at really what is transportation. Transportation is not merely that we are going to reduce the emission and pollution. Rather, we have also to think all over again about the mobility and accessibility of the city, for example. So transportation, again and again, I would say that we have to be careful to know that the population of those vehicles should be controlled. So it means that no matter it is going to be a new energy, green energy, which is based on electric engine or electric-based engine, I think the thing is how you control the population, because this population may not be giving you a better mobility, basically. So, you know, one has been going for many years actually was how the government tried to persuade people to move out from their private vehicles, for example, by giving a better public transport, even a very cheap public transport. I give an example, for example, BRT was being developed in 2004. It's been almost 20 years and government is still giving a subsidy, which is not increasing the tariff at all, because since 2004 to 2023, it is still like 3,500. You can go around the Jakarta city with 3,500. So this is a very hard, I think, effort from the government how to combat the motorcycles, because there is no other way to give you any comfortable public transport and a cheap public transport. But again, I think we have to be careful to think about EV or converted EV, because the point is, I think, again, I have to underline that we have to maintain the population of those vehicles at a low level. As I always say that these vehicles are not moving, I think, on a very specific infrastructures. They are using the common infrastructures. Those are the roads infrastructures. So they are interact with others. So number is something. The other things that I think government should think all over again about this EV, they have to think also that the movement is not only for goods, for people. We have to think also about the movements of goods. So logistic is something else. Yeah. So why don't we try to also to attract the development of this EV, for example, for those commercial vehicles like trucks or buses or something like that, because this is more giving us a kind of collective transportation. In a way, we are reducing the population. In a way, we are making easier and more smooth movement of people on the road, means that mobility. I think that is the concern. It should be the concern.
Thank you so much. That's a really good point. Maybe before we back on that topic, now I think in terms of the economic aspect of the conversion, I might move back to Mr. Son. When comparing the converted one with the new built EV, the electric motorcycles, what do you think the key cost considerations for customer?
Thank you for your question. I think the key cost for consumer is the cost of the battery and the electric motor. Of course, it depends on what type of the battery and the electric motor. For example, they are using the battery of 1.2 kilowatt hour and the motor of 2 kilowatt. It costs like about 1,000 US dollar. But if we want to convert with a higher power motorcycle like 4 kilowatt engine motor, or with the bigger battery, it will cost much more. And also, in considering of the safety, the converted converted motorcycle will not work perfectly as the new factory-built electric vehicle. So it also risk for user, and also it costs for consumer.
Okay, thank you so much. And I think Ms. Dwi, you would like to add on that the cost considerations for customer.
Yeah, for the new one and the converting one, the thing is, it's already mentioned about the cost. Maybe I will just add about the technical issues. So for the new one, for the standard one, the body motorcycle, if compared with the ICE body motorcycle is stronger than the the standard new EV motorcycle. Because why? Because ICE motorcycle designed with almost 1,000 components inside the motorcycle, and if you convert it to the EV, the component reduce, as I show you before, just under 30 components, and make it, but with the stronger body, your motorcycle, converting motorcycle will last longer than the new standard EV ones. And with the cost, more and less, and even cheaper because of the incentive and the variety business models in the future.
Okay, thank you so much. So because we behind the schedule, I try to compress our discussion first. Maybe back to Professor Sutanto. I think one of our key question is, what do you think the challenges and also the opportunities that you foresee for the electric motorcycle industry in terms of the implementation, the consumer appetite, and also behavior of people? I think because you mentioned it's not about the transforming green, but also to combat the traffic congestion as well. Yeah, maybe you can give the challenges.
Okay, thank you. I think the appetite giving to the would-be driver of the EV, I think is already there. I mean, you just mentioned some of the speakers are saying that, well, government are giving some incentive in terms of tax and a lot many others. I think the appetite is not only of buying a new vehicles. You said that something that we can do, sort of converted EV, for example. There is another new appetite, I think, that some people are maintaining the old vehicles, but moving with the new energy, something like that. But what I would like to say also di sini, we combine here. I would like to say here actually, you know, the use of EV, even the motorbike EV, is already around actually. We don't have to promote, we don't have to do some marketing. Because, you know, I would share with you, in my neighborhood, for example, there are a lot many kids are now playing the motorbike, you know, the e-motorbike. They are no longer using the cycles, the bicycles. No, they are no longer using that. They are using the EV bike, which is, I think, just like a toy, you know. And the way they behave actually is not being educated. Why? Because they are not wearing helmet. They are running very fast around the other kids which is walking around. So this is a very risky situation. So appetite is not always, you look on who is the users. You have to be able also to look who is around the users. I think that is one of the appetite that we have to promote. So education on how to use EV, because they are no longer a sort of limit of using that, because they are not asking you about the driving license, for example. So I think education is something that we have to do for increasing the appetite of the other people. I mean, because they are moving around the other people. Okay. The other thing, I think there's sort of complaint actually, because those are using this EV, it's having some difficulties to do their recharging battery actually. Yeah. Well, government may not be able to provide a lot of those, but I think if those EV industry would provide for people, then I think they're getting more appetite for that. I think there is one of the solutions, because relying on the government or national budget, I think is no longer appropriate, I think. Okay, there are a lot many others, but you don't have time, I believe.
Okay, thank you so much. Maybe before I sum up and close, unfortunately we don't have much time. I would like to maybe hear from each speakers your final thoughts, basically your critical factors on how we can address and ensure the sustainability, also economic viability of this electric motorcycle in ASEAN, basically. Maybe start with Mr. Son first, and then.
I think it depends on the objective of the converted electric motorcycle. If you take it as a key trend for electrification, or if you wanna just make it as a step for transition. If you wanna make it as a key trend, you need to make it in national level. It means like not focus on in Jakarta city. You need to make it in the countryside as well. In like make people know it as much as possible, and also if you wanna make it as a step for transition, you also need to make it as cheap as you can.
Thank you so much. Yeah, Miss Dwi.
As cheap as you can, interesting. And from me, there's three main points in order to accelerate the converting a motorcycle. First, human resources must be prepared in Indonesia. Second, the infrastructure, charging station, swap must be enough, so people will confidence to use a motorcycle. The rent anxiety will reduce, and people happy. They don't worry about to travel everywhere. And the third one, the bureaucratic administration to get the certification for the motorcycle must be simplified. And in order to do so, we have to talk with the Polda, with the Transportation Ministry, with the Finance, with the Ministry of Energy in one table to discuss how to simplify it together to make in customer easier to get the certificate of motorcycle. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, last.
Again, as I already mentioned earlier, that having a good policy is not merely to have greener energy. Because we are talking on transportation today, I think make a more convenient and probably also efficient and effective mobility is something. So I believe the concern on converted or maybe the new vehicles of EV, I think you have to be able, I think, to create sort of policy maintaining those mobility. For example, what would be the equilibrium, for example, between the policy of developing the public transport and the use of the individual vehicles like EV, yeah, the motorbike EV. As I saw already that I mentioned that a lot many motorcycles are being used by people, but there is no control up to this moment. Probably some of the concern of the government should be looking at how to make a kind of quota for the motorcycles. Yeah, because there is no other way. We have been looking at the policy of government giving a very huge amount of subsidy is not giving load factor of public transport as what we are expecting actually. Yeah, the load factor, even you can see during the peak hours, load factor is less than 1, I believe, and that will be a waste of subsidy actually. So please, again, probably Indonesia is now having probably the battery making industry, but I think the output, the products of those industries should not be only looking or making a local market or domestic market. They have also to look also the international market. I think that's my comment. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah, thank you again for all the perspective and insight from all the panelists. Maybe to sum up, we noted that there will be a requirement for comprehensive assessment, impact assessment, moving forward for this approach. Yeah, I think because we don't have much time, I might end this panel discussion. Thank you again for the speakers, and maybe later we can continue the discussion outside this stage. I think I can move back to the MC.
Thank you, Miss Dinta. Thank you. Please give them a round of applause. Okay. May I invite all panelists and Miss Dinta to stand up for a photo session? Yes. Can you please stand in front of the table for the photo session? Smile to the camera. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, please hold a moment. 1, 2, 3. Smile. Okay, thank you. Is that enough? Okay. Thank you. Please give them a round of applause. Thank you. Thank you, Miss Dinta, Professor Sodo, Mr. Sondra, Pratiwi. Ladies and gentlemen, beside all of you here, I would like to extend a warm welcome also to all of you who are participating online. Thank you for joining us online. We hope you are enjoying and learning as much as we are learning today. Earlier today, here in this room, we have an exhibition prepared by MEMR. The first exhibition is prepared by the Directorate of Bioenergy of MEMR, where we learn about B35, we learn about B40, the commercial use of B35, the challenges of B40, and other bioenergy products. And also from the second booth, we have learned about the survey. It is prepared by the Survey and Testing Center of the Directorate General of the New Renewable Energy and Conservation from MEMR. Here we have learned about the conversion kit and components of the converted motorcycles. And also I would like to inform you that in front of this room also there is, I think, a model motorcycle. So please also take your time to go to the exhibition outside of this room to check the motorcycles. Ladies and gentlemen, also we know that the road to carbon neutrality is not linear. So we have learned today from a lot of stakeholders. We have learned from the government and also from the academia. And also we learned from Professor Sohodo that inside of the only from the technical aspect, we also need to learn about the educational, policy, economical aspect to carbon neutrality. There's a lot of stakeholders, there's a lot of improvement that we can do. So without further ado, we have another panel discussion. It will be led by our moderator. Please allow me to invite Mr. Tran Duong Fong, the Senior Policy Advisor of ERIA. Invite to the stage the panelists, Mr. Triharsa Adi Cahya, the CEO and founder of Spora EV, Mr. Jae Eun Chum, General Manager Hyundai Kavico ASEAN Regional Control Office, also the Assistant Professor from Dr. Utani Supati, the Vice President for Academic and Human Development, Electric Vehicle Association of Thailand, and joining us online, please welcome to the screen Mr. Thompson Juraiman, the co-founder from Swap ID. Dr. Fong, the floor is yours.
Thank you, and now we are going into the second panel discussion. There is some challenge posed for us, for our panel, because we are standing between the discussion and so lunch. And we are a bit behind the schedule. So I think we will need to have to try to be as efficient, effective as possible, right? So that we still can deliver the message and also try to have to address the questions as much as possible. So yeah, we will try to do that. And our topic, or the topic for this second panel discussion is towards sustainable business model for converted electric motorcycles in Southeast Asian countries. And yes, because we heard in the morning introduction by Bapak Senda about the 5 business models being used here in Indonesia for converting EC motorcycles. And in this session, we will have experts talking more on or practical applications of those models in Southeast Asia, in Indonesia. We have experts also talking about experience in Thailand. Yes, and then of course we will can discuss experience from other ASEAN countries online if the online participants are interested. Yeah, so we have, so first we would listen from our own experience from Indonesia by Mr. Triharsa Adicahya, the CEO and founder of Spora EV of Indonesia. And Mr. Triharsa Adicahya is a mechanical engineer with strong IT and business operation experiences. After graduating from the Department of Mechanical Engineering at the Trisakti University in 2000, he joined Astra Auto Parts, and apparently he wants to focus on developing the electric vehicle ecosystem in Indonesia, and so he established his own company called Spora EV. And so this is, I think this would be a very good example and an experience in running a business model on converting EC motorcycle. So let's hear from him. Yes, Mr. Triharsa, please.
Thank you, Pak. Okay. Are we going to have the slideshow? Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. So a little bit about my companies. Yeah. Spora EV is a relatively new EV startup in Indonesia, but we kind of make it a little bit different lah. Instead of producing or selling new motorcycle, yeah, or also maybe bus, truck, what we do is a little bit different, yeah. Okay, next. So in Spora EV, our business model consists of 3 main elements, yeah. The first one is the Spora Design Engineering. In this, we help others company, yeah, to develop the electric vehicles, yeah. For example, as for now, we currently in the process of finishing a new prototypes for electric motorcycle, yeah. This is because previously our background is from the automotive industry, so we kind of know how to do this and also have a good relationship with the automotive ecosystem in Indonesia. And then the second one is the Spora Institute. Yeah, Spora Institute is a training center for the mechanics. Yeah, especially for EV. I heard also from the previous panel. Yeah, Mbak Dwi. Yeah, also said that we have to go to the SMK. Yeah, we have to train them in order to accelerate the process of EV conversion in Indonesia. So this is all other things that we also do it for now. As of for now, we have established a teaching factory with one vocational school in Serpong area. So this will be a new pilot, a new model that we can also replicate in other area in Indonesia. And the last one is actually the conversion. So for us, the conversion is not only our main business. Yeah, we have also developed other revenue stream also. Okay, next. And for the EV conversion itself, what we do is not only for motorcycle, but we also do for the cars. Yeah. There are some picture, as you can see, that we last year we just finished the conversion of the Mitsubishi Triton for the mining operation. Yeah, this is our biggest achievement, yeah, because this is a 4x4 and also will be used for the mining in Kalimantan. But we also doing the motorcycle conversion, but our approach is a little bit different because if we just offer the conversion, the business is not that good, yeah, business-wise. We have to combine it with something else, yeah. Okay, next. Okay, maybe we already talked about this, but basically, if we want to go to lower the carbon, we have to do the EV conversion because there are already like 100 million motorcycle in Indonesia only, yeah. So some of them or most of them have to be converted as soon as possible if we want to go to the lower the carbon emission. Okay, next. Okay, challenges, yeah. I'm sure the previous panel also talking about some challenges, yeah. But I would like to mention one thing that maybe we have to do the emphasis, yeah. It is the financing, yeah. Many people, like most people, don't pay in cash. So if we want them to convert their motorcycle to EV, we also have to provide them with the financing, with the leasing. Yeah, we see also that the cost right now is about maybe 17 million rupiah. Yeah, with the subsidies get cut out, then anyway people still have to pay like maybe 10 million. Yeah, if we cut again the battery, people still have to pay like 3 million, yeah, or 4 million. But still, people don't pay 4 million in cash. Yeah, that's become a problem. They even take a leasing for buy the smartphone. So this is something that we need to solve, yeah, in order to this project to go successfully. And then again, the process still quite, yeah, people doesn't want to bother with filling a lot of form. Yeah, they just want to as quick and easy as possible. And then there also the problem with the incentive, yeah, for what we understand for now, yeah. The incentive from the government, as of for right now, the workshop have to pay upfront, and then we reimburse to the government. This is very hard to do, yeah, for the business, yeah. For example, let's say that we got 1,000 motorcycle to convert, then we have to pay upfront 1,000.7 million rupiah, yeah. That's a very huge money, yeah. So we think that the government should find a way in order to give the incentive, yeah. Yeah, don't let us pay upfront lah, yeah. And then also the cultural. This is also that we haven't talked about it, yeah, much, yeah. People still prefer that they spend some time, some money, they want to get the new motorcycle or to get the new things, yeah. So we think with the EV conversion, we have to kind of make them understand, yeah. So this is something new, or make them proud that this is something new, although this is the old motorcycle. So I think my time is up, yeah. We can talk about it later. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you. And we move on to the second speaker, Mr. Jai Unchun. He's a general manager of Hyundai Cafico ASEAN Regional Control Office. Prior to this position, Mr. Jai was EV micro-mobility ecosystem sales group leader for about 9 years. And his focuses include micro EV ecosystem development, EV power training system, EV vehicle, and battery monitoring and management solution, and also reuse battery ESS solution and recycle. And he earned his Master of Business Administration Global Business from Hankook University of Foreign Studies. So the mic is yours, Mr. Jai, please.
Thank you for having me this opportunity today to give you and share the proposal and plans of developing EV micro mobility ecosystem. So this is the presentations of business cooperation plans, and you can see the market of Indonesia. Indonesia, yeah, everybody say Indonesia is #1 in ASEAN for motorcycle and world #3. And currently, the market has been recovered after COVID for the number of the sales annually, and there are increase of EV motorcycle sales in Indonesia 3 times increased than before. But you can see here in the left slide, almost more than 90% of the motorcycle segment of CC in Indonesia is start from 110 to 150 cc. And most sales, the model is a Honda Beat, Honda Viro, and Honda Scoopy. And later you can see Honda, the PCX, and Yamaha MX. But the EV increasement is the Yadi and BF Goodrich. They are the motor power, the range below 2 kilowatts. It means like a moped. The vehicles are selling, not the model that can equivalent the sales of the ICE vehicle at the moment. So our target direction of making the ecosystem here is develop optimized clean mobility solution. So what is the optimized clean mobility solution? Is the required appropriate EV two-wheeler vehicle meet with customer needs. Who drives the over 110 cc ICE vehicle? First, performance. Equivalent for the market driving habit, such as speed, torque, uphill, roading. This is very important to meet equivalent, to change people to transfer to EV in the similar performance and quality. And the battery vehicle charger have to be quality assured in safety and reliabilities. Why? Because current average use of duration in the consumer is 5 to 7 years. So we need a solution, the products that equivalent for average duration that people use in ICE vehicle. And the cost. Our target is making similar cost from current ICE vehicle in equivalent performance and quality. And charging infra. The customer convenience and installation environment basis. So we focus on BSS, battery swap station. Why? To meet with similar costs from current ICE vehicle, we need a solution to exclude the batteries from the vehicle. And then the BSS solution to sell the vehicle itself to the customer and make people use the BSS same as before that they fill up the gasolines in gasoline stations. And also we related to the carbon credits. So we put the IoT device into the vehicle, and also we have all data gather the solutions in the charging. So back-end and front-end solution gather data to reduce and create the carbon credit. How many driving distance that we do using EV, and how is the efficiency of electricity we charge from the BSS. So this is very important to create the carbon credit. And with this optimized clean mobility solutions, we create exceptional value on upcoming business in Indonesia. For example, what is the key configuration of EV micromobility ecosystem? Yeah, we need vehicle, new vehicle and conversion vehicle. Because in Indonesia, there are 13 million the ICE vehicle register in this country, and we cannot make all these vehicles as a scrap. We need a solutions to use existing the ICE vehicle for EV, such as conversion and policy. Yeah, Indonesia policy is moving very fast, and we need a battery meet with national standard and safety basis. And we need charger and location for the BSS for safety assured. And not only for the making the BSS with the vehicle, we need to create the reuse battery ESS, energy storage system, and recycle to make it cost reduction and full circulation basis ecosystem related to this EV micromobility ecosystems. So service for efficiency and carbon credit data gathered. So this is the conversion project cooperation that we cooperate with ESDM. So we work with the government, B2G, B2B, and B2C basis. So we work with the PLN and Hyundai Capital for motor powertrain system and ecosystem conductor. And our batteries coming from LG Energy Solutions directly. And conversion workshop, we work with Spora right next to me and Celis. And we work with the BSS operator called OICA and DMS. So target conversion kit specification, yeah, we target for 3 kilowatt hot motor for battery usage for 48 volt and 60 volt, and kit already developed, and we already have a vehicle for Honda Beat and Scoopy, and motor 5 kilowatt, we use the mid drive, and using battery 96 volt for 48 volt series connected for Honda Viro to meet with the equivalent performance of ICE vehicle. And our another target is why we connected to the BSS, exclude the battery, because we want to create the residual value of this conversion EV vehicle to the customer. Because Indonesia, the motorcycle is an asset to the users. So currently the Honda Beat and Scoopy, even is a used vehicle, it has a residual value. But if we convert to the EV, how we can create the residual value of this vehicle to the customer? That's why we need to exclude the batteries, because most of the cost and residual value cannot exist because of the battery. Because after they want to sell like 2 years, they want to sell vehicles to the other people, but they need to buy the new batteries, and it is the block for making the secondary markets of this EV vehicle, not only for conversion, also for the new vehicle. And target volume, yeah, we want to meet with the government targets. Next year, 150,000 units. And we want to use it starting from the project with ESDM for the Bali and or other all location in Jakarta, starting from the project basis, contact with the BSS. And this is our existing preparing for the BSS. So we do the project in Bali starting from last year. And now we have around 10 BSS stations in Bali, can manage up to 500 EV vehicles. And you can also use it for new vehicle and conversion vehicle. And also we have planned to expand our BSS locations, not only in Bali, in all locations in Indonesia. So our target for next year is to manage up to 10,000 units of vehicles using BSS. And also, Hyundai Capital Consortium with the Indonesian government is not only creating existing BSS ecosystem. We want to create the renewable energy basis solutions, because increasing of number of EV will create the power supply shortage in the future. So we need the solutions to prevent this power supply shortage basis. So we want to make a project with the government fund from Korea to make the reuse battery energy storage system placed in SBPKLU, which is the government, the EV charging stations. So make it linked to solar power and use it, the solar power basis energy to charge the batteries in BSS and charge EV vehicles. Then we will have creation of solution of power supply shortage in the future. So this is all for my presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Jai, for your presentation. Yeah. And the third speaker in our panel discussion will be Assistant Professor Dr. Utane Supati. He's Vice President for Academic and Human Development of Electric Vehicle Association of Thailand, or EVAT. Yeah, he's associate professor at Kasetsat University of Thailand, and he's focusing on power electronics and electric vehicle systems. Dr. Supati also joined the globally renowned MANA ECA Systems, headquartered in Rochester Hills, Michigan, USA. During his tenure, he specialized on converter-inverter design for electric vehicle systems, battery management, and hybrid electric vehicle systems. Now the mic is yours.
Okay,
Yes.
thank you. Thank you for your very nice introduction. So let me go very fast, and we have already very limited time. So I just would like to introduce a little bit on where I come from. Actually, from the Electric Vehicle Association of Thailand, or EVAT. The topic that I would like to share with you all today is electric vehicle conversions, paving the way to sustainable mobility in Thailand. All right, so here is a topic that I would like to cover. There are four issues that I would like to go in detail. Talking about the EVAT, Electric Vehicle Association a little bit. The EVAT is a non-profitable organization that we established in 2015. The goal of this organization is to promote the usage of the EV in Thailand, and also to reduce the air pollution and to improve the energy efficiency in the transportation sector. Okay, right now we have more than 300 EVAT memberships, more than 250 corporate member. And if we look at the corporate member here, there are very well-known companies joining the EVAT as a member. All right, this is the signature events of the EVAT. Basically, every year we organize the 2-3 events. The main signature one is we call IEV Tech Conference. It's a conference that we get all the experts around the world, to give exchange the knowledge with the Thai industry and also researcher in the country. The second one is the one that I would like to emphasize today is called Electric Motorcycle Conversion Contest for Business Opportunity. So this is what I would like to emphasize today. Why is electric motorcycle contest in Thailand? As we all know that in Thailand right now, the government set a very ambitious target that we are planning to have electric vehicle productions about 30% in the 2030. That means we need to manufacturing more than 700,000 vehicle a year. So that's a very high target. So how we can make that? That's the big questions. And even we can reach that target, when we look at the government's policy and support now, we can see the demand in Thailand is increasing a lot. We look at the number of the new vehicle registration in Thailand, as the many speakers have mentioned earlier, comparing between the 2023 to the 2022, we can see that the number of registration, EV registration in Thailand increased about 300%. So when we look back in the past, in 2015, when the number of the model of the vehicle in Thailand, I believe there are just only 2 models. But right now, could you believe that there are almost 40 models selling in the country, more than 22 brands in the country in total. So that means people have the choice. They have variety of choice. They have the from the high price to low price. In the back 4 or 5 years ago, electric vehicle is very hard to afford for the ordinary person. But right now, people can, access and to get that one. The problem is starting from next year. At the end of this year, we start to manufacturing, a lot of the vehicle. So the question is how we can get those people to be ready to work with the industry. So let's come up with this project, what we call electric motorcycle conversion project, where we need to educate our people who are in industry right now and who are in the university, in the college. Because looking back in the past 50 years, people are very well educated and well trained with the ICE technologies. But when we look at the technology that we need now is the EV, we have only more than 80% very comfortable with the ICE. So we have only 20% left. So in order to educate our people to understand or know how the electric vehicle works, we set up this platform and bring them to join this kind of the competitions. For the first year of the competition, we have more than 100 teams across the nation joining the competition. The second year of the competition, we have almost 72 teams joining these competitions. So the objective of this contest is to create awareness of and understanding of electric vehicle amongst the government's policy maker and also the public, general publics. We also would like to promote the knowledge, not only knowledge, but important is the safety issue. So we would like to also encourage the young generations to design and develop, electric motorcycle by themselves. Also, we would like to facilitate the local manufacturing of electric motorcycle in Thailand. And these are the target that we are, planning for this project. The beauty of this event is, after we do the competitions, all of manufacturing, they joining this project and they see like we can find the good talent, the good skilled worker, and after that they ask them to join the business, ask them to work with the company. Because with this events, we can find that students can start the project from the scratch. Like here is a timeline of the project. We start from the call for paper, and the people who join this, they need to submit their proposal, and then they need to get trained. The EVAT or Electric Vehicle Association of Thailand who organize this, they need to train, they need to give them the design thought and whatever that very important to make the conversion. After that, people who join this kind of project, they need to submit the report, what we call the progress report. After that, we just ask them for the qualified team, to join the competitions or the track testing at the Kasetsart University. So this means we start from training them, asking them to submit the progress report, and also bring them for the field test at the competitions field here at the photo and on the right hand side here. Here is a competition overview. I will not go in detail. So I just would like to show here, because in Thailand, we are concerning about one is the safety. The second one is the flood, because we're talking about flooding a lot. We make sure that a vehicle can run, through the water in a certain level of the flood. So based on this testing, we see that on the left-hand side, the vehicle who run on this test need to pass. This is a prerequisite test for the, you need to pass the water resistance test. We need to make sure the vehicle need to go uphill in a certain level, and also need to pass the certain speed limit, because the vehicle that will be allowed to run on the public road, they need to run at least, they can make the 45 kilometers per hour. Otherwise, they will not allow to, put on the public road. And these are the requirements is implemented on this contest. So The very important thing is we're not only asking people to do the conversion by putting or integrating the system together. What we would like to see now is we would like our people to design and innovate or generate the technology by themselves. So beside the competitions in terms of looking at the performance of the vehicle, we also would like to see the innovations. For this year of the competition, we set up the Innovation Award as well. In this kind of the protocol, we see that students can design and develop the battery pack themselves. They can design the motor. If some the team would like to join this competition, they can design the motor from scratch, or they can do some modification. And also they can do the control and motor. So with this competition, we see that we can have like the two categories of the competitions. One is students from the college and university. The other one is people from the publics, from the general publics team. And also we have the Innovation Award. So here, what we get, the results, the team that can get the high score, definitely they will get the trophy from our Prime Minister, and also get the 100,000 baht in prize money. For the Innovation Award, this is a very interesting one because we would like our students to think by themselves, decide by themselves from the scratch. So we set up the platform for them to give the presentation. We look at the report. We look at the the design and simulations and etc. What they have done, and we evaluate based on those informations. And with this, we see like some of students from the college and also from university, they did a very good job. So based on this result, what we have learned is here. Definitely, even in Thailand, electric motorcycle is not one of the target of the country. We can see like a four-wheeler motorcycle, four-wheeler conversions, like a pickup truck, like a passenger vehicle. But electric motorcycle is one of that. What we have seen is, here is the challenge and the solutions. The cost of conversion is kind of expensive because when we do just only one vehicle, definitely we buy one single motor, one single battery pack is very expensive. The second one is limiting range because like a motorcycle we have seen showing back there, because we have very limited area, limited room for putting the battery. So that is the challenging that we need to think about that as well. The third one is safety concern. This is very important. So most of the people who don't know about electric vehicle, they just think that just put them together and make it work. But making the vehicle running is not a big issue. But making it run with the safety is very, very crucial. So this thing that I think is very thing that I think in Indonesia as well, you need to emphasize this issue, make sure that people understand about safety. Okay, and the rest, like we can see like vehicle weight this is not much important, but the first three items, cost, limited of range, and safety concern are very important that we have learned from this. As what I told you, there are two competitions already. For the first one, it's more than 100 teams, and there are just 92 teams joining in the side event. And what is next? So we have seen that we have a lot of progressing on this. We see that this is the window of opportunity because we see the coming of the new electric vehicle, and the price of the new electric vehicle is going down. So I believe that there are just 2 or 3 years from now on that we can play with the electric vehicle conversion. But after that, once the electric vehicle price, the new one, the brand new ones, go very low, so it's hard for the electric vehicle business. So in this opportunity, what I call is the transition strategy period. Before we jump into the new vehicle, we use this kind of the transition period to educate our people, to prepare our young generation, to prepare our ecosystem, to make sure that we are ready when the EV industry is come in the next few years. All right, So here in Thailand, every single mode of the public transportation, we see conventional one from motorcycle, electric tuk-tuk, traditional bus, boat, and also the train are moving toward to electrifying mobility, like I'm showing in this photo. Okay, so I think that's all for my talk. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Dr. Utane Supati. We still have another speaker, Mr. Thompson Juraiman. He will be delivering his thoughts online. Right? I'm sorry that we didn't receive your particulars in advance, so I hope you can also introduce to us a little bit about yourself before your presentation. Thank you, Dr. Thompson Juraiman. The mic is yours. Thank you. Sorry, we don't hear from you. Is there any technical?
Hi.
You keep trying, keep talking, so whether we can hear from.
Can you hear me?
Yes, now yes, some.
Can you hear me? Yeah.
Yes. Please go on.
Okay. Thank you. I'm Thompson. I'm from Shop Energy Indonesia. I'm a co-founder for the Shop Energy. I'm a chemical engineer. I have an enthusiast in the electricity. Okay. Today I'm going to talk about motorcycle, e-motorcycle in Indonesia. And before I begin, allow me to highlight a little bit about the motorcycle market in Indonesia. In Indonesia, motorcycle is the third largest motorcycle market in the world, with about 130 million units of motorbike on the road. And most of the users of the motorcycles are a heavy user. On average, each of the individual riders, they ride on 10,000 kilometers per year, which in cumulative is equal to 1.3 trillion kilometers per year. And they consume about 28 billion liters of fuel per year. And also I want to highlight that for motorcycle market, Indonesia is heavily reliant on the subsidies for the fuels. Just last year, our government is subsidizing about 500 trillion of rupiah for the fuels, and also for the environmental issue in Indonesia. Our traffic is one of the most congested traffic in the world, and we have a bad quality. We have a bad air quality, as reported by IQ Air Quality. We are ranked number 9 most polluted countries in the world. I think also now we are been talking about the pollution in Jakarta. So SHOP is coming into this business, hoping to help our government solve the subsidy issue by asking our people to migrate from the ICE motorbike to use a electric motorbike. We hope that by the migration, our government subsidy will be lower. Okay, so we founded SHOP back in 2019. Okay, we have 2 entities. One is focusing on the battery ecosystem, which is SHOP Energy Indonesia. We build networks of battery as service for e-motorcycles. And we have another entity named Smooth Motor Indonesia, which is focusing in manufacturing and selling of smart e-motorcycles integrated with IoT. So far, our commitment for Swap Energy is we hope to create a green and sustainable way of transportation in Indonesia. Okay, so so far Swap Energy have deployed over 1,300 swap stations across Indonesia, and we have about 10,000 units of e-motorcycles running in Indonesia. We have been working with retailer partners like Alfamart, Circle K, Pertamina, and BP. And also we have an anchor supporter of ride-hailer like Grab, logistic company like Lazada, and Blibli has been our anchor partner. Okay, we want to take this opportunity to make Indonesia great, because Indonesia has a lot of resources in nickel. About 30% of the nickel resource is found in Indonesia, and our government is very aggressive in reducing the use of fuel and to fight the climate change. So our government is giving out about 7 million rupiah, which is about $400 US per unit of subsidy for the e-motorcycles. So swap idea is to help people migrate from ICE to e-motorcycles. We come up with these 3 systems: the e-motorbike, the swap station, and the battery. Okay, so we have the e-motorbike integrated in our ecosystem. Works smartly, so the user can use their mobile application to locate where the battery station is about, and they can go to the battery swap station to do a swapping. As fast as 9 seconds, they can get a refreshed battery. And also we have a dashboard to work with a logistic company to help them manage their riders. Okay, so far we have 2 variants of e-motorcycles. Number one is Tempur, with the spec of 1.5 kilowatt, maximum speed of 60 kilometer per hour. This is integrated to the swap system. The other variant is Zuzu. It's like a Vespa. It's also 1.5 kilowatt with a maximum speed of 60 kilometer per hour. Okay. Swap battery is using lithium iron phosphate at 64 volt and 31 ampere, and it has a life cycle of 1,500 cycles, which is very competitive comparing to other type of batteries. And lithium iron phosphate is very safe to use, because at the short circuit incidents, it does not generate fire. As a swap makes 2 types of cabinets, or we call it station. One is a small one with 3 slots. One slot is always empty to accommodate the user to put in the used battery, and it will discharge a fresh battery to our user. And we have a big stations with 8 slots. One is always empty also. Can I share how our swap work, ya?
Ambil baterai dari jok motormu, lalu kamu dapat langsung meletakkan baterai pada sensor yang terdapat pada bagian bawah mesin. Mesin akan membaca dan membuka pintu slot secara otomatis untuk kamu dapat memasukkan baterai ke dalam mesin. Ketika pintu sudah terbuka, masukkan baterai ke dalam slot kosong tersebut, tunggu sampai mesin memproses dan mengeluarkan baterai baru. Ketika terdapat lampu hijau dan merah yang berkedip pada pintu yang berbeda, menandakan baterai baru akan segera keluar. Pintu akan terbuka secara otomatis lagi dan kamu dapat langsung mengambil baterai baru tersebut. Setelah itu, masukkan baterai kembali ke dalam motor untuk melanjutkan perjalanan.
Okay. So that's how our shop cabinet works. When our users came, they just need to put the battery onto the plafond. The NFC will read whether this is our battery, and when it's validate, they will open the cabinet and let our user to put in the battery, and they will discharge a fresh battery to our user. Okay, next is our revenue model. Our business model is we're selling e-motorbike and the membership for the shop battery. So it's a lifetime membership. That means we can give a lifetime guarantee for the use of battery to our user. So the user do not need to worry about having to get a new battery after maybe 3 years of usage. Their battery health is degraded. So mostly, like we have our experience in our mobile phone. After 1 year or 2 years, batteries are degraded, and user needs to change a new battery. But with our system, short battery guarantee the lifetime of the battery. If the battery needs to be phased out, we will change the new one to our user. And then we charge our user subscription model by quota. For example, 100 kilometer, we are charging our user 20,000, and 250 kilometer, we are charging our user at 45,000 rupiah. And finally, 500 kilometer, we are charging our user at 80,000. And also for the swap station, we are also open for franchise business, so that people having a venue to put the machines, we can work together to deploy our machines to serve our user better. Okay, so far, Shop Energy has been supported by Grab, PLN, Lazada, Blibli, Paxel, and also we supported G20 event back in 2022. This is our milestone. So far, we have about over 1,300 stations across Indonesia. For our e-motorbikes, we have about 70 service centers for the after sales of our e-motorbikes, and we have about 200 dealers selling our motorbike in Indonesia. For shop station, like we have highlighted before, we work with retailers like Alfamart, Alfabidi, Circle K, Family Mart, Martabak Kecenokan, and also we work with gas station like Pertamina and BP, and also we work with PLN to put our shop stations. Okay, we are supported by financing company like BCA, BNI, BRI, Adira, and also for the service partners, we work with Planet Speedwork, AutoClick. Okay, for the IoT, we work with Telkomsel because we need to work with Telkomsel for the smart system. That's it for my presentation. If there's any things you want to ask, please ask. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Thompson and Juraiman. I have a very quick question for you. You are doing swapping services, swapping batteries services.
Yes.
But I understand that it is for EV or newly made EVs or motorcycles. Do you do swapping also for converted motorcycles, Or
Yes, our battery can be used for the converted motorcycle also.
okay, thank you. So yeah, we have all the four speakers already presented their cases. Now we have very little time. I think we are a lot behind the schedule. So but I think we still need to have some time for discussion, for questions and answer. But I want to make it quite fast. So I would like to ask two questions applicable for all four speakers. So I would like to hear your thought on each of the question later on. Yes. The first question is related to suitable business models. The question is from your experience and circumstances, which business model you think that would be most suitable in addressing the needs of customers? The needs are the first one is the cost of converting, and then the other needs or concerns of the customers are safety and also convenience and comfort. So from your experience, the business models, which one would be best addressing the needs of the customers? Like you do the model doing conversion and battery swapping, or the model to provide conversion kits and battery swapping, or the trade-in model, and there would be also other models. So what would be the best one in your opinion and experience to address the needs of the customers? Thank you. And then I would start with Dr. Tri Yesa first, and then yeah.
Okay, I think the business model is like this. Yeah. First, I thinking more about on the customer side, right? First, the process have to be very simple. Yeah. No hassle, no too many paperwork or something. Yeah, and quick, because the people really do use the motorcycle every day. The second one is the financing. There has to be a financing for people who wants to convert their motorcycle, which is lacking right now. The third one is using the battery swap. Yeah, because it will be lower the cost of the conversion, although the government give the incentive. And then it also give the convenience for the people to switch their existing motorcycle to EV. So there's three variable that we need to do, Pak, in order to make it happen. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Jai.
Yes, I was telling what is the optimized solution for transporting EV. First, I placed some positioning strategy. First is the equivalent segment, which is the equivalent segment for transporting ICE to EV. For example, 250cc is what the kilowatts for EV can manage equivalent. So we target for the Yamaha X-Max, and which is the segment for EV, or PCX, MX, Scoopy. So this is very important for the placing for this market, for the segment positioning. And second, we talk about the cost, the price positioning. What the equivalent EV price have to be? We call it the similar cost. If the EV is equivalent for X-Max, we give the similar cost for X-Max price. So people will receive the similar cost that they buy for ICE into EV with equivalent solutions. And third is the branding, because we are talking about the competition between Honda and Yamaha, which is the number 1 and 2 in the markets. But most of EV, the manufacturer, they have no enough branding value. So we need to create branding value for what? For example, our Honda Capital. Yeah, we do the motor, controller, powertrain systems, and we have brand value in parts, components. And we have LG for batteries. So we support our OEMs, the manufacturers, to develop their branding in initiating stage for the component, the brand value basis. And third, the infra positioning, which is Mr. Adi just said, yeah, we need a convenient infra for BSS to create, to accelerate this EV market. And 5 is ecosystem positioning, which means not only stands for vehicle, for EV, BSS, for the swap, we need a solution for reuse and recycle to develop the first circulation positioning basis. So this is my important, the key positioning for the accelerated EV market.
Thank you, and
actually, I agree with your opinion. You know that you touched 5 topics that I just would like to emphasize to for the more frequency, to increase more frequency. The one thing is, as I mentioned earlier, that there are 3 issues very important: cost, safety, cost and safety issue. So in order to reduce the cost, that means we need to increase the number of the mass product. That's the thing. So the business that we can go with this is what I can see right now is we need to make sure that we can make the mass production. One application is the freight vehicle. One application like the food delivery, for example, that where people use the same vehicle, the same type of vehicle, the same type of battery, the same type of the characteristic. But if you have a vehicle in different type of the characteristic, we need different motor, we need different battery structure, battery pack, so that will increase more cost. So that thing is I would like to go with a single platform, and you can reduce the cost. And the second one is go with I agree with using the swapping platform, because using the battery swapping platform, you use the same size of the battery. So with using the same size of the battery, that means you can reduce the cost. So that's only 2 options that I would like to emphasize at this moment.
Thank you. Mr. Thompson, do you have anything to say?
What's the question again? How to accelerate the adoption of EV in Indonesia?
Yeah, from your experience, what would be the best business model to address the needs and concerns of the customers in converting their existing ICE motorcycles into EV?
Okay, for our strategy is we target from the price of the most dominant market. For example, at this stage is Honda Beat. Honda Beat price we make a benchmark on the price. So we come up with our EV, which the price has to be same or must be lower, if possible lower. So that's how we come up with Tempur and Zuzu. That's the best price I think we can give at the market. On the road, now the price for Tempur on the road is 18.5 juta on the road. So we think this is the acceptable price for the market. So based on that, what can we give the best in terms of specifications? That's how we come up with 1.5 kilowatt of dynamo, and also the battery, and also with the speed at 60 km per hour, maximum speed, maximum riding speed. And also I think the most important thing is, because of the range anxiety, we need to build our swap ecosystem, swap stations as fast as possible. So when users start to use, they do not have this range anxiety. So if you see, look at the swap ecosystem in Jakarta, about 1 to 2 kilometers you will find our stations. Jabodetabek itself, we have about 800 swap stations in Jabodetabek. So for example, riders like Grab, they are the most heaviest user. They travel a lot. One day they travel about 120 to 150 kilometers per day. But using our swap stations, using our motorbike, e-motorbike, plus support of our swap stations with our swap points, they can do it easily. They do not have downtime. Every time they make their swapping battery, it only consumes 9 seconds. So for riders like Grab, if you need to charge, maybe 1 hour is a long time. It's a downtime to them. 1 hour they can do a lot of living. So with the support of swap ecosystem, with 9 seconds of doing swapping battery, they can go on with their tasks. This is what we think. That's why for swap, we keep deploying stations. So, and we also can feel that after we deploy the stations, market can receive us better. Market is more willing to inquire and even to buy our products. This is based on our experience.
Thank you, thank you. Yeah, I was reminded by the organizer just now that we ran out of time already, so I beg your pardon that I wouldn't go into the second question, and we'd like to end our panel discussion here. But before that, I would like to thank all the speakers very much for sharing your experience and also your thought with us today. And we hope that the participants and then other people who would be interested in your experience could approach you to ask directly the question about the experience and everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fong, and all panelists. May I invite all of you to stay for a photo session. Thank you, gentlemen. Please smile to the camera. 1, 2, 3, smile. Again, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, 1, 2, 3, smile. Okay, is that okay? Now, okay. Thank you. Thank you to all panelists. Ladies and gentlemen, we are almost at the end of the first event of the day. We are going to hear a closing remarks, which is supposed to be delivered by the Director of Energy Conservation of MEMR Indonesia, Dr. Gigi Udi Atmo, but he will be represented today by Dr. Robi Kurniawan, the Energy Conservation Analyst from the Directorate of Energy Conservation, MEMR. Dr. Robi, may we invite you to the screen?
Excellency, Chief Operating Officer of ERIA, Haji Yamasang, representative from ASEAN Center for Energy, distinguished speakers, moderators, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I would like to convey my appreciation and thank you, especially for ERIA and ACE for co-hosting this event. I would like to express my appreciation to the speakers and panelists for their valuable contribution in this event. My deepest gratitude goes to all who attended this event and helped to make it such a successful event. Today's discussion has provided us with insight regarding the benefit from conversion of motorcycles with internal combustion engine to electric vehicle. Ladies and gentlemen, renewable energy deployment needs to be accelerated not only in the supply side, but also in demand side, particularly in industry and transport as the two largest energy consuming sectors. We have to enhance cooperation for decarbonization for transport sector by pursuing biofuel and EV development. In the ASEAN Summit last May in Labuan Bajo, ASEAN country leaders pledged cooperation in developed EV ecosystem in the regional level while preparing ASEAN as the global hub for EV industry. Indonesia envisions becoming a global hub for the battery industry and EV manufacturing. Indonesia aims for 2 million electric cars and 13 million electric two-wheelers by 2013. This target is supported by recently launched policies that provided incentive to accelerate the deployment of electric vehicles in the country. By implementing these measures, Indonesia could reduce energy consumption equivalent to 29 million barrels of oil equivalent and emission reduction of 7 million tons of CO2 emission by 2030. Moreover, suitable business models for electric motor vehicles conversion must be developed to foster EV ecosystem in the country. In addition, maintaining public awareness are crucial for a swift transition from combustion engine to electric vehicle. Ladies and gentlemen, it is our sincere hope that ASEAN member states could move together toward low carbon emissions in transportation sector. As a fast-growing region in the world with demographic bonus and regional stability, ASEAN poses major assets to be a epicentrum of growth. Let us work together to overcome challenges and obstacles in achieving net zero emission on energy sectors. In closing, I encourage everyone to use this opportunity to learn, share, and inspire one another. Hopefully, this event can have a positive and sustainable impact on the economy, social, and environmental in Indonesia's society. Thank you for your attention. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Thank you, Dr. Robi, for your closing remarks. Ladies and gentlemen, we are at the end of the first event of the day, and now we're going to have a very short lunch break. We are going to start the second session at 1:45, so we will have a 30 minutes lunch break. Lunch is served on the right side of this room, and for speakers and participants, you may enjoy lunch on this side of the room. Thank you, and see you in 30 minutes.